Hello, and welcome to Power Play. This is episode 5 of this season. It means that with the episode that we just announced that we're adding last week, this is kind of the dead center of the final season of Power Play. Yeah, we had 4 before. There are 4 more after this, so it's like this is it, the middle of Power Play season 6. Welcome. I am your game master, Rick Budd. And so these people you see on screen are Sam DeLev, our Kadrax Eversinger, Omar Najam, our Vian Vigor, Caitlin Bruder, our Benny Beckett, B. Zelda, our Ulez Galley, unfortunately not feeling well tonight, cannot be here. Send B your best. Don't worry, they're okay. They're just not feeling totally on the ball. So we're going to be operating as a trio here. And I want to send, as usual, special thanks to Jake and Lauren and the mods and everybody at QueueTimes. It is only because y'all are so great at doing what you do that we have the chance to do what we do. Check out all the other great shows going on at QueueTimes right now. There's so much good stuff. And so please, see what's going on there. And normally, your subs and your bits help support QueueTimes. This month, subs and bits are going to the Rainbow Railroad Charity, which is an organization that helps LGBTQ individuals escape violence and persecution in their home countries. It's a fantastic cause. And Jake is giving 100% of QueueTimes Twitch profit to them this month. So thank you, Jake. Very cool move. And so you can feel really good throwing in the bits tonight. And as always, your donations to the tip jar that you see way down on the bottom there help support this show. And the people you see on the screen is our Feed the Cast fund. And to that end, we've got some rewards. As usual, here's how they work. If we get to $50, the team gets a point of community determination. Right now, I see Kadrax has 1 point of determination, and that's it. Nobody has anything. There is no community determination. So determination going at even more of a premium than usual tonight. And what just happened? Did we just unlock all the tiers? Jake, is that accurate?
Two minutes?
Holy. Thank you so much to whoever did that. Jake, please, if you can. Wow, that has got to be a record. I think
it is 2 minutes. Yeah,
that's 2 minutes. Wow, thank you so much. We continue every week to be bowled over by the support that y'all give send us.
Oh
Chandra.
my god. Oh, that's so nice.
Chandra.
Thank you so much. Yeah, oh my god, we love you, and thank you so much for everything you do for QueueTimes and for this community, and all the communities that you work with. Folks, aim to be a Chandra, and not just because of this, because of everything they do out there. We need more people like that in the TTRPG community watching out for folks. So, wow, thank you so much. Oh my god. So I guess you've got a point of community determination. And $150 this week was a minor change, which would be a specialty to add a specialty or become an expert in a specialty, increase an attribute by 1 to a maximum of 8, or remove a limit to a power. Ulez will get to do this for next week. For the rest of you, do you know what you happen to want right now? Anybody?
Put it in the character sheet already.
Put it in the character sheet. Can you tell me so I can add it to my printed out?
Yes. Plus an additional +1 to my surgical skills.
Ooh, okay.
Surgery +2.
General surgery +2.
Good doctor.
Kadrax getting better at their craft. Vian?
I'm going to throw one under willpower.
Willpower.
But I'd like to use that point compassionately. None of this charm person business, Rick.
Then you should take a look at your own personality, sir.
Yeah, I can't help it if you're charming. None of us can help it. You can't stop it. We've tried. Benny.
Can I take a specialty in something to do with like social, something like, I don't know, like I don't know if persuasion is quite what I'm looking for, but like just being earnest and like talking to people, because I feel like she's been doing so much so much of that, but I don't know what that would be.
Well, let's see. Persuasion, yeah, I don't, that's not exactly being earnest. Like, we can give you like rhetoric, sophistry, like those kind of things.
I mean,
But
persuade.
like,
I don't know.
Convince?
Convince, persuade.
It's
I
a
don't know if
slightly different. It's a slightly different flavor, I think. I don't know.
I
no,
might
it's
get back to you at break, but
all right, why don't we
I'll
see if
say
we can come
earnest,
up with a
but
name
like
for that?
verb.
And if you
It's
wind
like
up,
verb.
yeah,
Yeah.
if you wind up in any, situations between then, we're going to apply it without a name.
Okay.
Just call it the importance of being earnest. Okay, I'm done.
A specialty in the importance of being earnest. Okay. So yeah.
Wild.
Okay. So Benny, I'm just going to make a note. +1, and I'm going to call it persuasion, but put it in quotes for now. Until we come up with a better name for it. So yeah, so that is your third minor change of the season, and if I am not mistaken, or unless anything changes, your final minor change of the whole series. So, thank you. And if we get to, oh my god, it's just like it's so ingrained how I read these things. Yeah. So, and the after credits lore drop is unlocked, so you will be getting a lore drop. Sorry, just getting a message from a thing that could be possibly a thing. Okay. Yeah, no, we're good. And you can always see these tiers in chats if you still want to, even though they're all open with the command unlocks. See, it's like I'm just not prepared for. Okay, and if you can support, if you can't support us by donating, you can help us by liking and commenting on YouTube videos and sharing our tweets, stuff like that, fan art, live tweets. I mean, all that stuff is just it just melts us. So thank you for all the people who do that stuff. And you can get Power Play merchandise. There are T-shirts and stickers with Caitlin's wonderful character art. Here's one of those T-shirts right now. This is the season 4 character art, but you can now get the original, the season 4, or the season 6. Everything is available at the store, and that is the QueueTimes Stream Element store. Jake will pump that link down into chat for you. Moving along. The game we have here is called Icons. It is published by Ad Infinitum Adventures and was created by a cool dude named Steve Kenson. You can find him on Twitter at skenson.com. He's a great follow, highly recommended. The book edition I have is published by Green Ronin. You can't get new ones anymore. Every once in a while, there are some used ones around. You can get PDF versions, and you can sometimes get print to PDF versions right from Ad Infinitum. Fantastic system. We play a hack of it, but honestly, it's like even as written, it is just the coolest little superhero system. Obviously, I love it. You can follow the show at PowerPlay RPG on Twitter and Instagram. PowerPlay is now available as a podcast for the podcast inclined. Check that out wherever fine pods are casted. And that is the announcements. Time for PowerPlay. All right. That is once again the amazing brand new opening sequence brought to you by our own Benny Beckett there, Caitlin Bruder. Just every time I see it, it just gets better and better. Thank you so much, Caitlin. So, previously on PowerPlay, the team was confronted by the Red Mist, who explained how he got into the stone sarcophagus that the team saw the Vikings were burying back in the 1100s. And he told them about everything that had happened to him since. He also claimed that evil forces in Port Ruby were aligning against him, and he wanted the team's help in defeating them. However, he thought they wouldn't believe it unless they figured it out for themselves, so he told them to investigate the fate of Daniel Cizik, the director of the National Bureau of Antiquities for the People's Republic of Ostrovia. Their investigation led the team to Fripp Manor, where they tried to question Jonathan Fripp about Cizik, but he was not having it. 2 days later, the team got a request for help from Abigail Fripp's mother, Gracie, Jonathan Fripp's wife. Jonathan had been kidnapped, and Gracie wanted the team to save him. The team did ultimately save Jonathan Fripp, but during the investigation, Ulez acquired a drive from one of Fripp's computers that tied him to a business called Oakgate Solutions. Soon after that, the team learned that Oakgate Solutions was also the owner of a truck that was used in the murder of Daniel Cizik. Along the way, the team also found out that one of them was going to die via a prediction by Destiny Bendixson. They rescued the Golden Gardens kid, and they rescued the Golden Gardens kid from a mind-controlling supervillain known as Management. For the purposes of today's game, we are going to say that Ulez, who is kind of the gardener over at Golden Gardens, is over there today watching over those kids after the incredibly rough experience they had being mind-controlled by Management. Ulez is, tending to their flock. To mix metaphors in just the worst way. So it is the morning of October 6, 2021, the day after you saved the Golden Gardens kids from Management. And you all managed to start the day with PR1 News, with anchor Stella Combs, played by Laura Dern. And Stella says, our top story continues to be the 2 super attacks yesterday. One, an armored car robbery in Grenell Circle, and the other, a racetrack heist in Ellery Crossing. And it cuts to footage of Veronica Murillo, played by Olivia Rodrigo, battling the team, over the armored car. And Stella says, early reports framed the crimes as unrelated supervillain attacks, but sources inside the Department of Investigation are now indicating that the perpetrators may have been innocent parties under the control of someone else. Preston Haynes, mayoral candidate for the Sovereignty Party, had this to say. And it cuts to Preston Haynes, played by Sam Rockwell, talking to reporters out on the sidewalk. And he says, mind control or not isn't the issue. The issue here is that these people are dangerous. It is their very existence in this city that constitutes a threat. And incidents like this one make it clear why. And it cuts back to Stella Combs, who says, reporter Nina Harmon is going to have a one-on-one sit-down with Preston Haynes tonight to press him on his controversial views and presumptive mayoral policies. You can catch that only on PR1. Right now, we're going to take a commercial break. When we return, officials in Greenacre Park say the squirrels there are plotting against them. Are they right? We'll find out after this. And it cuts to commercial. Now, last night at the end of last episode, Kadrax, you had invited Bennie to come stay at your place. Bennie had been taken over. Bennie's body had been momentarily taken by Management, who used it to cause all kinds of chaos, and then dropped Bennie into the water, letting her drown for a little bit. Luckily, Kadrax showed up to save her, so Kadrax brought her home to keep an eye on her and make sure she was all right. What do you think the two of you did last night?
Well, I gave Bennie the appropriate medical examination, as did my surgical assistant dog.
Yes.
Dogs being rather more thorough and perhaps more nosy than mine own.
Lots of good, like, big dog head hug. Like, yes.
Yeah,
much of that.
Wraps its head around your neck, and then dog. Oh, I was gonna say, and dog slept right at the foot of the couch that you slept on all night, Bennie. Dog was right there watching over you.
You know when you sit cross-legged on the floor and you have a very large dog and they sit in front of you and you can just oh yeah, lots of that. Maybe we watched a
Whoa.
movie or something. Ordered like Thai takeout so we could get like a bunch of like rice dishes.
I do very much like the rice and the spicy. They are included in the same meal. As I recall last week, post camera, we did also specify that there were going to be circular cakes for dinner.
Yes, we did also do that. Yes, we're gonna get some. Like, I bet there's like a Benny probably knows some weird spots because if she worked with like Chatterbox, I bet they did like top 10 cool places to get donuts and like that kind of specific thing. And she was like, "Oh yeah, I did photography. I did the photos of that one." The number like 3 ranking actually really sucked. I think it was like a sponsorship to get them in there, but the number like 2 I think was really nice. They have some really fun ones. They're not even all circles. It might be kind of fun. We could get some from there.
I will alert my boss. So I can imagine not literally a kicking in of the door with a box this high of donuts, but with the same energy,
Yes.
returns Abigail at the end of her shift.
Good.
They just sort of like,
Yeah, Abigail comes in. She got like 4 dozen donuts because she didn't know what kind you like, so she got like 2 of everything, and coffee, tea, just whatever they have. And you all sat down, let's say, to watch the
Would you like to
lobster
watch
that
Guidance
fought
and-
Hercules, which is the sequel to the crab that fought Hercules.
Okay.
Hercules fighting lots of crustaceans in those films, and.
no wonder he's rather crabby.
Sam Delev, everybody. They will be here all week. Yeah, so that was your last night. This morning, Abigail went out to the hospital very early. She's got to work today, but she did arrange, being an administrator now, she has arranged for someone to cover for you at the clinic so you could stay with Benny today. What do you think you were up to right now?
Well, given that the news report was this morning,
Yeah.
I think we should probably go over to Vian's and Ula's with all alacrity. If there are concerns that the squirrels are rising up, Lori is almost certainly involved, if not inciting this conspiracy.
Inciting squirrel violence.
You laugh.
Oh,
You
no,
do
I
not
believe-
know the
no.
Lord Jeanette. I do, Benny.
Benny believes it 100%. She has a little bit of a nemesis relationship with Lori, so she 100% believes it.
Then in this, as in so many things, you and Dog are aligned.
Yes, of course.
And you head off to Vion's, and then we have a quick smash cut over to Greenacre Park, where we just see a field with hundreds of squirrels in it, and Laurie the Lorgen, and like all the squirrels just start cheering and throwing acorns into the air. And then, well, okay, there's something I got to deal with now. And then you arrive at Vion's place in Fort Trumbull, and you show up, and you knock on Vion's door, but the door kind of creaks open. It looks like it has been left unlocked, and you walk in, and you see something very strange. Omar, do you want to describe what they see here?
Yeah, I'll say before you step in, I think from even down the hall, you hear from like the record player, like some Kate Bush playing very loudly, but like a little too loudly, like maybe uncomfortably loudly. Definitely like running up the hill. And when you step in, Vian has his back to you and he's phased. And everything in the apartment there is covered in pieces of paper taped to walls and yarn going back and forth and sort of floating chalkboards and books, like floating books as like papers are being flipped, but they're all phased. Everything is phased. And because it's so loud, he doesn't hear you initially as the door opens.
What is this, Benny?
Hyperfocus?
Ah,
Vian?
At that, Vian turns around, looks at you, and then everything disappears. And a second later, he steps out from his room. Hey, how's it going? I'm sorry, I didn't hear you. I didn't hear you come in. And I'm gonna like lean against, like, for stability's sake, against like a bookshelf. Is something going on? Did you send a text message or?
We did not. We were looking for Lori, but now I think we are looking for you.
Well, you found me. I guess, this doctor makes a house call. Do you want some coffee, Benny, or Doc, you developing the taste, or can I get you anything? And Vian goes to like the kitchen and starts to like pull stuff out. And I think that as he's like handling the glassware, you can hear rattling as his hands are just shaking.
I'm gonna walk in with you, and she's gonna take the mug from your hand, and we'll just kind of start doing coffee instead. We'll just kind of very quietly take over.
Okay, yeah.
And we'll, yeah.
Champion that. Take that on. Absolutely, yeah. Great. So how are you both doing? You had a sleepover, right? You both.
We brought leftover donuts. There's so many.
That's amazing. Thank you so much. And just pulling from my own experiences, Vian takes one out and goes to bite it, and I think visibly you would see that he has no appetite, and so he kind of actually just puts it back down. He goes, "These look great. Where is this from? What spot's this from?"
Number 4.
Is that the name of the restaurant, or?
No, it was listed as number 4 on the Chatterbox's top 10 donut places in the city. Are you doing okay?
I am. I'm doing all right. How are you? Yeah, I'm doing okay. Just had a little bit of a restless sleep. I was sometimes when I can't. I've been working with the astral projection stuff a little bit. It turns out I can actually project out more than just myself. Like I can combine it with images and kind of and get some work done, which is great because then I'm not limited to physical mediums and stuff like that. So that's nice. Which is funny for me saying mediums. It's funny, and I want to. As he's stepping back, he knocks over a pile of books that all are marked from Destiny's bookshop. Sorry about that. And I'll use some magic to just kind of try to like place them like back on each other.
Okay. And Benny's gonna hand you your coffee. Who, as someone who has probably made majors before, so it would be to Vian's liking, at least one of his several likings.
Thank you.
She'll kind of set it down, and we'll kind of make you sit down at the counter, and is gonna say, "Okay, I'm gonna try that again." By example, I'm doing kind of shitty. Yesterday kind of sucked, and a lot's been going on. And I cried a little bit last night. Might cry again? Unclear. How are you doing, Vian? She kind of like looks to where we saw all of the things and the astral projection and then like looks back at you.
And I'll get up and I'll like go over and like close the door and then like lock it and also like snap my fingers and the record player stops, like using like telekinesis to kind of just like turn the knob from afar. Is Ulez here?
Oh, we didn't see them when we came in.
I kind of just struggling with something, I guess. I've been trying to crack this case about what Destiny said about one of us, dying in the near future. And I've been working on it. I've been kind of going over it to see how to outsmart that, because that's what I do. I beat death before, so It's kind of my go-to, I guess. And I kind of came to a very disturbing realization, my friends. I've just been going over it and over it, and I'm not the detective of the team anymore, so I'm working sort of at a slower pace than Ulez would, but I'm smart enough to realize something. It's not that one of us is going to die. It's actually that all of us are. Not now. Like Destiny's prediction was about one thing, but I started compiling everything, and Doc, recently you were hit with a sonic bullet, which took you down for the count. I shouldn't have been able to phase you, and yet I was able to. You were really hurt, legitimately hurt, not like before, and your resurrections have been getting shorter in terms of time spans. And Ulez, in combining with Maria, we found out that they are mortal now. Not like before, not like you pass stuff on. Like Ulez, as we know them, is a mortal entity. And Bennie, I mean, you had seemingly unbeatable abilities to defend yourself, and recently gravity has squashed you down, and you got blasted from behind, and that took you out. And I thought I was the lucky one, honestly. Really, I did. That's why I was like, I'll just take care of this, because I'm the spirit of justice. I'm already a ghost. What's going to happen to me, right? Like, what could possibly happen to me? Except I realized something with Sheriff Wheeler and Sweetletrot and a couple others, man. That means they had a finite timeline. If there are other spirits of justice, that means that I don't have an endless runway at this gig. This is a temporary job. And so it's not just that one of us is going to die. It means that all of us at some point, we're all now mortal in the same way. And I guess I just wasn't kind of prepared for that, if I'm being honest. I hate to be, a rich kid from the suburbs, but I didn't expect to have to deal with that idea, I guess, a little bit. Of all of us, I took it for granted after everything we've been through. And I keep trying to figure it out. I keep trying to beat it. I keep trying to, whatever I did, I would like to do for all of you and for myself. I don't want to go through it again. I don't want to do it. I did it before. Doc, you know what I'm talking about, right?
For a while, I did. Yes.
It's not great. It's not a wonderful experience. And I'm kind of not seeing the justice in it right now. I'm actually kind of seeing the injustice in this. And as a spirit of justice, that's something I'm really struggling with, I think.
Does that not characterize your position? It seems to me that a spirit of justice, apathetic to injustice, would be ill-suited to his job. The very sensitivity you feel toward that injustice proves the appropriateness of your position.
That's very flattering.
But I somehow do not feel that this is motivated by a philosophical meditation on justice.
I just didn't want it to be us. And I can't figure it out. I'm not smart enough to figure this out. I've tried, and I motioned to like all the books. It's like a full library that's been shipped over from Vegas.
I mean, I was always going to die. That sounds really dark when I say that out loud in that particular sequence of words, but like, I mean, I'm just me. I was born on Earth. I briefly got to go to space, but I feel like that was an outlier of an experience. And I'm gonna die on Earth. And that's just being human. And I don't want to die. And I know that everything we do is really scary. And yesterday in particular was kind of a lot for everyone.
Yeah.
But how long has this been bothering you?
I think ever since Destiny visited, it's kind of just been in the back of my head. Our conversation felt very she usually messes with me. So saying something vulnerable and honest is kind of different for her. And I just love you all so much that the idea of not being with you is difficult. And to be kind of honest, I've never really had that. Even with like family and stuff. I don't really kind of want there to be the end of the runway. And I think that if there was some big thing, and I know that's silly because we stopped the alien invasions, multiple, kind of back to back a little bit. I know that there was a little bit of a time travel detour, but I'm struggling to see the big picture for this one.
What did you say about something being temporary earlier?
This gig is just a temporary gig. Spirit of Justice stuff.
I mean, a lot of things are. You can't stay one way forever. I mean, I quit my job, that was temporary. I don't know what I'm doing right now. I'm interviewing for things. Eventually that will be temporary. I don't know. I mean, I've spent my whole life not thinking about my own death, but knowing that it was out there somewhere. I don't know if that's particularly nice to hear, but I guess I've got the opposite. I don't think I ever thought it was going to be forever.
I think Vian takes a long pause to truly absorb what you just said and looks over at kind of all the plants that Ulez has collected and kind of laughs to himself a little bit. I'm not surprised, considering out of all of us, you were the one that was actually an investigator when we first met, because you were technically like a journalist, sort of on the beat a little bit.
Oh God, I wish. No, I just hold the camera. Actually, no, I don't wish. I would rather be behind the camera. I take that back. That was just felt right to say. No, yeah, I mean, I was appointed interviewer for the day. Don't ever want to do that again. That was not. I got
you did
Kadrax
very well.
Thank you. I did get you out of it though, so I guess I'm glad.
Out of one.
My accidental short run of interviewing career.
I've been trying to crack this case, I guess. And Benny, you kind of just did it in one. I'm trying to figure out what it is. What's the thing? And I keep forgetting what Wheeler told me, I guess. It's probably, I guess, all in all, not about stopping death. And maybe my ego got a little bit big for me. As it does. I'm not surprised by that, I guess. And Vian,
I guess you're allowed.
Sip of coffee, yeah, from that. I guess it's all in all more about the life stuff than it is about the death stuff, even if you are dead.
And as those words leave your mouth, all three of you get a text message at the same time. It says, "You are cordially invited to Fruit Manor. It is time to talk."
See, this is the kind of stuff that makes me believe in like horoscopes and things, because that is the timing of that alone. How is that? Vian holds out his hand to Benny.
She just steps in and gives you a hug.
You want in on this, Doc?
I think we both hold out our hands.
Oh,
Yeah.
well, that. Yes, the
Yeah.
blim thing.
Mhm. Mhm. Mhm.
Oh, this is
Unless you don't want
impressive.
to. If you don't want to, it's
Oh yeah,
perfectly
you too.
fine.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no touch is also
completely
fine.
up to you. Yeah. You want to hug from afar?
They're hugging, y'all. Like, they have 6 strength. It's not a strength 2 hug.
And Vian starts to cry in the good way, if that makes sense. It's
cathartic
when
tears.
yes, your body just
Yeah.
releases and just it's like expression of comfort.
Are we supposed to be? I feel like being cordially invited to something allows us to be fashionably late. Do you want to have donuts before we go?
That sounds so freaking good. Yeah, when I get stuck in this stuff, I don't eat or like drink water nearly enough, and then second I'm out of it, my body catches up, and it's just like I need to like catch up on like 3 days worth of nutrients.
Yeah, maybe get some caffeine too. Is the coffee okay? I haven't had to make a coffee for someone in a really long time, so hopefully it's.
This is incredible. This is one of the best coffees I've had in my entire life. Are you joking?
It helps to have good tools. You have probably the nicest coffee maker I've ever
I mean,
used.
you say that, but like, Jimi Hendrix could play like an orchestra just with an acoustic. And I'll say really quickly before, as like that's chuckling, at the same time, if it's all right, I would like to use interface to send a text message to Ulez sort of behind my back really quickly.
So what does it say?
It says, "Hope you're doing well, Ulez. We're about to go on a quick little mission. We'll update you later. And if you don't mind, my friend, I have a favor to ask of you. Can you teach me how to be a keeper?"
You have sent that message.
All right, so yeah, should we go?
Donuts. I like the square ones.
Yes.
They're purple.
Okay.
The purple square ones. The orange square ones are
But
good,
it's
but like
purple cake. It is wrong to have it in this geometry.
We are going to smash cut from this. Are you headed to Fripp Manor after you're done with your donuts?
That sounds good to me. If that sounds all right with you.
So, as you step outside of the apartment building, you find standing in front of you, waiting at the bottom of the steps, the Red Mist. In his usual form of a smoky person with no discernible features. Good morning, Vian Vigor, Kadrax Eversinger, Benny Beckett. I've been watching, and I know you know the truth now. You know Fripp owns Oakgate Solutions, and you know Oakgate's truck was used in the murder of Daniel Sizik. Is that not right?
That's correct.
Now you must confront him and bring him to justice. Fripp will try to lie to you and threaten you. He's counting on his mystic shield that prevents magic from operating in his house to put you at a disadvantage. But the shield can be defeated. And he draws in red smoke kind of a strange rune in the air. And he says, Vian, once you are inside, secretly draw this rune, and it will allow your magic to operate in Fripp Manor. Read his mind, if you must. Know the truth. I'll be watching in case you need help. And he disappears into the wind.
Okay.
it's always cryptic with him, huh?
A little bit of a cryptic guy. I guess he's sort of old-fashioned in that way. So, but that heads up's appreciated.
It is... Does it not strike you as a touch of rush to conclusion? Although there is clearly an association between the companies, we have not yet implicated Fripp.
Can you tell what that rune does? By like, I don't know, comparing it like Latin roots. When you find a word, you can kind of figure out where it comes from. Do you have can you compare it to other runes and see what it?
Vian, do you want to make an intellect roll with your occult bonus?
Is it? Here's the thing. My occult is higher, but I kind of want to use writing. And the argument I'll make for this is recognizing symbols. I think that this is actually a detective case versus a magic case.
I'll tell you what, you can use both because writing applies and it is in the subject of an occult. So it's like by the rules of the game, this is at the nexus of your occult and writing specialties. So give me an intellect roll, add your writing and occult bonuses. I'll see if we can figure out what it does.
Specialties.
Get a GM like Rick Budd, everybody.
We're sorry, you cannot. There is no one anywhere near Rick Budd. He is in a class all his own.
And he's ours.
Don't listen to these people. No, I pay them to say that.
That's going to be a total of 14.
14. You are not familiar with this particular type of rune, but it does remind you of nullification runes and runes of protection, and kind of is what you would generally expect a rune that would allow your magic to work inside, say, a nullification shield or a magic shield would look something like. So you would think it probably does something like what the red mist tells you.
So kind of like a counter charm sort of situation.
Yeah, something like that.
Perfect. This checks out.
And and from here you head up to Fripp Manor?
We'll buzz the gate.
Yeah, Jake, can you give me the Avalon map? Fripp Manor, located in Corin Heights, all the way in northwest. Avalon, just going to throw up the map so y'all can get a geographic sense of where we're going.
Oh, sorry, Red Mist met us outside my place.
Yeah, he was outside your place.
Got it.
And yeah, you arrive at Fripp Manor, and Vian, you go to buzz the gate like you said, but before you can even press the button, you can hear the voice of Jonathan Fripp's butler. It pipes right through the intercom, and it says, "Mr. Fripp is expecting you." And there is a buzzing sound, and the gates swing wide for you.
Much nicer introduction than last time.
If you say so. I liked the other one.
And I will turn to Kadrax really quickly. Quick vibe check, Doc. How you feeling?
Disquieted.
That's a really good word. That makes sense.
You?
We got cordially invited this time. I'm interested. That's rarely a thing that a very, very guilty person does. So we'll kind of see how that goes, unless it's a trap. So I'm kind of open to both, but I can now read minds inside the house. That's not bad. Benny, how you feeling?
Oh, I've been nauseous for the past 24 hours, but about this general situation, mostly confused, but fine. I mean, I don't get muted in there, so.
Good point. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Let's say you're having this conversation while you're heading, towards the house, since it's got that big lawn and driveway. When you reach the house, the door opens for you, and Jonathan Fripp's butler, who we did not cast last time, but now I will say is played by Jonathan Price, is waiting for you at the door. And he says, "Welcome. This way, please." And he leads you up to the second floor and takes you through the game room. You've been here before. This is where Vian once post-cogged a vision of Kadrax's old mentor, Dexter Vale, sitting in this room.
Yes.
And then he leads you into Fripp's private library. And you've been here before, too. It's where you saw... it's there are basically 10 bookshelves or so. They all stacked with books about Astrovia. On the wall, beneath a glass covering, there is an old portrait of a royal-looking family, a king, a queen, 3 young princes, 3 young princesses, all children, and a little tag on it that says 1077 with the, as the date. You've seen all this before.
Mm-hmm.
And the butler says, yeah.
I was gonna ask, does anything look like significantly different from the first time we were here? Like something
Ooh, good
that's not
question.
here that used to be, or like something that's new and like big and flashy, something to that effect?
All right, tell you what, make an investigation roll.
God
She
dang
say, the butler says, Mr. Fripp will be joining you shortly, and he leaves you
Okay.
alone for a moment.
I do
Oh,
this
okay.
to myself, y'all. Oh, that was
Anything you
loud.
want?
Was an 8?
Benny's-
Okay.
8. Honestly, as far as you can remember, this is basically what it looked like.
Okay.
I think last
Alright.
time you were here, there was a book that had there was an open book with a sort of sketch of Matthias Valk in it that you
Yes, I
saw.
remember that.
That book is not out
Okay.
on the table anymore, but otherwise, it all looks pretty much the same. Is there anything else you want to do while you were alone in this room?
Ooh. Since my magic works.
You got to draw
You
the
gotta do
rune
the
before
rune.
your magic works.
Right.
You drawn the
Sorry,
rune?
yeah. Since it could work, I'm gonna draw the rune.
All right. Give me a roll just on.
It's like a magic roll.
Yeah, just a magic roll.
Benny will like stand in front of you so you can like draw it on her back
Oh.
or something so that it's like in plain sight.
Thank
I rolled a
you.
1, so you're going to get this no matter what you do.
12.
Yeah, and that will do it because you know what? I am retiring blue and purple for the evening, and we're going to green, the dye that vanishes when you put it in front of the screen. And so you draw the rune, and as soon as you do, Vian, it's hard to describe, but you can kind of feel your magic again. It's just, that sense that you can do it just kind of, just kind of comes back. You can feel the difference almost. And after a moment, a door opens and Jonathan Fripp, played by Scott Bakula, enters. He is wearing pajamas and a bathrobe. His face is badly bruised, and he walks with a limp. He looks a little bit shaky, presumably from the beating he took at the hands of Aaron Bomberg.
Yeah.
And he says, thanks for coming. And he sits down in a chair in the corner of the room, and he says, first, I wanted to thank you for saving my life. I should have trusted you to begin with. Abigail trusts you. Now I see why. So I wanted to clear the air. You were here asking about what happened to Daniel Sizik. Is that a topic you're still interested in?
Very much so.
Well, first of all, he's not Daniel Sizik. In fact, there is no Daniel Sizik at the National Bureau of Antiquities in Ostrovia. No one erased his existence as you implied in my office. There simply was never a Daniel Sizik to begin with.
Benny
That
internally
man-
is like, yes, I got it. Like not outwardly, but
Benny
inside.
called
just-
it. And he says, that man was a thief who nearly killed my daughter by tricking her into helping him steal from me. If it weren't for you, she'd be dead because of him. And I couldn't let that go unpunished. So I had him dealt with. He is the first person I have ever dealt with like that. I may be a lousy father, but I love my daughter very much, and he got what he deserved. Did he go too far? Did I go too far? Maybe. But when right is on your side, it's easy to go too far. That being said, I know that Daniel Sizik is only one of the things you want to know about. You're here because of the red mist. Isn't that right?
Yeah. Originally, the red mist put us on the trail of the man going by Daniel Sizik.
And he nods his head. My father, Caleb Fritjek, came to the United States from Ostrovia in 1942. He raised me to be a student of Ostrovian history. I studied their government, their arts, and their legends. And the story that captured my imagination most was the one about the red mist. It goes like this. At the end of the 11th century, Ostrovia was ruled with an iron fist by a family called the Tyrannins. They were cruel beyond all measure and had little patience or sympathy for those of different races or religions or economic classes. But Ostrovia was a very diverse place, and eventually the peasants had enough. They staged a revolt, and they killed the whole family: father, mother, 3 princesses, and 3 princes. That's them there. And he points to the painting on the wall behind you.
Oh,
Now
jeez, for Pete's sakes.
that's all historical fact. And the revolt occurred not long after that portrait was painted. Now, it's also a fact that during that revolt, someone, probably one of the peasants, made off with the royal family's most valuable possession, a 34-carat diamond called the Star of Ostrovia. Now, what comes next is believed to be folklore, but as the story goes, 20 years later, the star found its way into the hands of a greedy, power-hungry young peasant man who had designs on becoming king. Seeking the means to conquer Ostrovia, he traded the star to an alchemist named Matthias Valk in exchange for a destructive array of superpowers. One of those was the power to transform into a red mist that could make people angry, violently, murderously angry. And the red mist used his powers to turn the people of Ostrovia against each other. Thousands died in violent battles. And his plan likely would have succeeded, but he made one mistake. His greed got the better of him, and he returned to Matthias Valk to reclaim the Star of Ostrovia. The old alchemist was prepared, though. He had created an orb that weakened the red mist and made him vulnerable to attack. Now, the mist couldn't be killed, but Valk managed to trap it in an enchanted sarcophagus from which he couldn't escape. He then handed that sarcophagus over to the government and recommended it be buried far, far away from Ostrovia. An officer of that government who had heard rumors of Norsemen discovering a strange new land to the east was able to hire a crew of Vikings to take the sarcophagus to the new land and bury it there. Of course, that land was what we now call North America, and the Vikings are known to have explored its northeasternmost regions. Now, most people would have dismissed this all as fanciful, but I happen to have a superpowered individual in my family tree. My Uncle Simon had a pretty terrifying power, so I believed in the red mist. And if the mist was real, and it couldn't die, and it was buried on the northeast coast of America, then it could come back. It could come here. So I made it my duty to be prepared to stop it. And my whole life has been about that single purpose. It's why I built my empire, and I've always placed it above everything else, even my family. Now, for years, I've had people scouring the globe for that orb, and I thought I had time to find it. But in October of last year, there was an incident at a firehouse in Baronsdale that caught my attention. The crew all violently attacked each other, just like the Ostrovians in the story of the Red Mist. I needed to know if it was back. So I created a fake Star of Ostrovia and staged a high-profile auction to make sure everyone knew that I had it. Then I put it in my vault with a camera and waited to see if the red mist came. It never did. Instead, I attracted a thief and almost got my daughter killed. Then in August, I saw the red mist on TV with you. It's one of the reasons I wasn't sure if you were trustworthy. Anyway, I knew I was out of time. I called my people back, and now we're trying to figure out a way to stop the monster without the orb. Desperate times call for desperate measures. I've been stockpiling weapons to use against the monster for some time, but without the orb, they're probably useless. This place, Fripp Manor, has been built specifically to operate as a stronghold against the red mist. That telescope in the observatory, the one that's pointed at the ground instead of the sky, it's actually a scanner that can detect the mist if it comes onto the property. And I've had the house fortified against every superpower I have ever heard of or suspected could even exist. Most importantly, thanks to a little trick I learned from the journals of Matthias Valk, magic does not function here. So, as an entirely magical entity, the mist's powers won't work in this place, which means it's the only place we're truly safe. Any questions?
I'm gonna cast telepathy. I say out loud.
Big,
and I cast
big, medium, little.
This is going to be little because I'm actually just doing this between us for now. Since it can work in here.
Yeah,
and he doesn't know that.
Then it's fine.
Should I tell him that I brought down the magical shield?
Can you undo it at all? Is there like a do it backwards and it puts it back?
Actually, I don't know.
Oh no, that works. Can you dispel a thing that you did?
Like nullify my own magic?
Sir, your magic isn't working. Your anti-magic field.
You say it out loud?
Yeah.
That's our
and
Kadrax.
Fripp kind of looks confused, and at that moment, his intercom buzzes.
Ah, damn.
And a voice says, "Sir, the monster's on the ground. I'm sending you an image now." And Fripp kind of gets up and walks to a computer that's on a desk in the corner of the library, and he turns on the monitor and then turns it over so you can see it. And on the screen, you see the ground in front of the mansion, the area the telescope is pointed at. And the picture looks kind of like a thermal readout, like Predator or something like that you see in the movies. And you can clearly see a smoky shape traversing the lawn toward the house. And then suddenly it shoots into the ground and disappears. And Fripp presses a button on the intercom and he says, "Where'd it go?" And the voice on the other end of the intercom says, "I don't know, sir. I'm running oh God, pressure in the gas pipes is suddenly off the charts. And at that moment you hear this massive series of explosions. Out the window, you can see fire shooting up out of parts of the lawn, sections of the manor house blowing up and just leaving large holes. Fripp looks terrified, but before he can say anything, the window shatters and a cloud of red mist billows into the room. And Fripp stands up looking alarmed, and he says, "That should be, oh my God, the magic shield. It is down, isn't it?" And the mist quickly coalesces into the form of a smoky, featureless person, which you've seen before.
Mm-hmm.
But this time, it begins to solidify from the ground up.
Where is it, like, in comparison to where we all are, if we just turn towards the window, is it like, is he next to Fripp? Is he just standing like far away from us, or is he moving towards us?
Let's say Fripp is seated in a corner of the room by the computer. You are seated, you are standing diagonally across from Fripp in the other corner, and the mist is sort of in one of the third corners. So kind of, picture, like a right angle, and the mist is between you and Fripp.
Oh, shoot. Okay.
And he begins to coalesce, and first you see black boots. Then old-timey kind of gray hose. Then red medieval tunic. And finally, head. And everyone recognizes the face of Daniel Sizik, played by Domhnall Gleeson. And he says, "Surprise." And Fripp says, "Daniel Sizik?" And the red mist says, "No, my name is not Daniel. It's Donnell. Donnell Tyrannon. And I am no peasant." And he points to the picture of the Tyrannon family on the wall behind you, and he says, "I'm that one, the tall prince with the red hair." And thanks to my friend Vian taking down your magic shield, I think you will find yourself quite at my mercy. And Fripp looks just stunned, and he's like, Donnell Tyrannon, the Crown Prince? And the Red Mist says, once upon a time, before Valk put me in that stone prison. And he turns to the three of you and he says, I am afraid I may have misled you. I was released by that earthquake, and I did recognize Kadrax at the firehouse where I tested my powers. But I didn't follow them because I thought we'd be allies. I followed them because I was hoping they'd lead me to the orb so that I may destroy it. I saved you from the gangsters not because of camaraderie, but because I didn't want some lowly thugs killing the only people who might help me eliminate my one weakness. But as time went on, I began to warm to Port Ruby. I began to think it could make a fitting kingdom to make up for the one that I lost. So I started to size up the city's power structures. It's always about power. I wanted to see how easy it would be to kill the most powerful man in Port Ruby, your mayor. Turns out it was very easy. And then one day I learned that a man called Jonathan Fripp had purchased the Star of Astrovia. Now, it only took a few days of spying to learn he had it in the safe in his office, and that this whole manor was protected by a magic shield. That's why I had to use Abigail Fripp to get it, but she's an Astrovian peasant, so she's sort of my property anyway. Now, regardless of how it turned out, our adventure together in Fripp Manor made it clear that Fripp knew of me and Valk and the orb. And if he had the orb, well, he could kill me. Now, it obviously wasn't in the vault at his house, but I knew from spying on Fripp he also had a vault at Grandview Bank, so I raided that too. But the orb wasn't there either. Nonetheless, I had to be cautious, so I backed off Fripp for a while. I turned to dismantling the power structures in this city that might resist my rule. The mayors were clearly no threat, and the police were so corrupt I knew I had nothing to fear from them. So I started picking off the city's most powerful criminals, the cluster. After that, the only thing that threatened my future kingdom was that infernal orb, and I had to know if Fripp had it. So when he sent a team to kill poor Daniel Sizik, I seized the opportunity. And I knew my friends who believed we'd be allies wouldn't be able to resist a good mystery. So I continued to save your lives, kill your enemies, and solidify our bond. I knew Sizik's murder would lead you to confront Fripp, and I assumed I could convince Vian to enter this place and take down the magic shield, leaving me free to search for the orb with my own magic. But of course, that was before you admitted you didn't have it, Jonathan. And the mist holds up a small object in his hands, which the three of you recognize as one of your comms. And he says, Ulez dropped this off the top of a building. I hope you don't mind, but I've been listening in for quite a while. Fripp looks just absolutely terrified, and he starts to back away from the mist towards the computer on his desk. And he hits a button, and he says, He's here! He's here! I need you now! And a moment later, a door on the other side of the room flings open, and 4 heavily armed commandos rush in. And behind them, there is another man wearing body armor and his hood over his head that makes it very difficult to see his face. Jake, can you do the thing?
What?
And as Dexter Vale shoots into the room, he pulls his hood down and breaks out these 2 kind of like laser sticks that look almost like kind of tiny lightsabers. And the red mist smiles. And we're going to take a 10-minute break right there. And we are back. And as you can see, we have with us tonight the incredibly special guest, Mr. Eddie Doty.
Hello.
Eddie, thank you so much for coming, man. We love you. And everyone loves Dexter Vale, so it's so great to have this character back. And also, I noticed while we were gone that y'all pushed the tip jar to 360.69.
Hey, nice.
Yes, it is. So thank you so much, everybody, for all the support that you have thrown us once again. We are just so incredibly grateful. And when we last left off, the Red Mist had rushed into Fripp Manor, destroying the walls by exploding the gas pipes and essentially backing Jonathan Fripp and the team into a corner. Jonathan Fripp called to his security team, and 4 commandos arrived with Dexter Vale. We're going to pick up right there. Kadrax, as the hood comes down, you see the face of Dexter Vale.
What's up, Doc?
You're here?
Yes.
I thought you were dead, and then I thought you were in Astrovia, and neither of those is here, and neither of those is here, and neither of those is here. Pardon me a moment. It's just, they do the like not right now figure at Fripp and Sizik, and it's not gonna be.
And the security team is sort of spreading out around the room, and Fripp kind of backs into his chair and he says, "We can't hurt it without the orb, but there are dozens of innocent people in here. Dexter,
Yeah, you're about
all
to
of
get.
you, save as many as you can." And the Red Mist laughs. Yes, save them if you can. This ought to be fun to watch. And he changes into mist form and blows right past the commandos that entered with Dexter and disappears out the door. The commandos all kind of start shaking a little and, just kind of twitching, with paranoia. And they start pointing their guns around at the room, at you, at each other, like yelling at each other suddenly. "Stay back! No, you stay back! No,
Yeah.
I'm warning you! I'm warning you!"
Maybe
One
some
of them
emotional
pulls
control.
a grenade. One of them pulls a grenade,
magma
pulls
on.
the pin, and throws it across the room. Benny, your magma comes on.
Uh-huh.
Everybody roll initiative.
Yes.
Dexter, that is coordination.
D10, yes.
Yeah, D6.
D6.
Sixes.
I got a 10.
8.
Oh, wait. Hold on.
9.
11.
How
Hey,
did
okay.
this group in this our month of pride roll a straight?
All right, so what I'm going to do is Dexter, you go first. Vian, you go second. Caitlin, you go third. Benny, you go last. And because 11, 10, 9, 8. And you got the 8, right?
Yeah, but who are you? Who did you call Caitlin?
Which
If I'm
one's Caitlin?
Benny?
Which one's Benny?
Oh, did I say? I'm
Kadrax.
sorry.
Yeah, they start with
K
a
is
K.
Kadrax, not Caitlin. Yeah.
That's funny.
I'm sorry. I can't tell the real you from the fictional yous anymore. You're
We're just too good of actors, which is why we roll the straight.
It's
and-
easy to tell I am human.
I am going to place one of those security team members between each one of you, rather than bunching them all up. So Dexter, the security team guys are kind of all pointing their guns around. Nobody has fired yet, but that grenade rolls towards the outer wall. What do you want to do?
Okay. So from a pull pin to a spoon pop, you got 4 seconds before it goes off. So I'd like the walls are stone, drywall. What are they?
Broken open right now.
They are generally just this is a mansion, so it's like probably close to
Okay.
drywall, and but parts of them have been torn up from the gas explosion. So the whole structure of the house is a little bit weak right now.
Okay, I'm going to take whatever large piece of furniture is nearby and just try to rip it and throw it on top of the grenade.
All right. There is sort of a small bookshelf near you, which looks like you might be able to pick it up in your current condition. Dexter, give me a strength roll.
Okay. Okay. So stupid. 10.
10. 10? You rolled a 2? Okay.
Yep.
So you are all pretty amazed to see Dexter pick up this whole bookshelf as if it almost weighed nothing and throws it down right on top of that grenade. And a second later, there is a burst, and the whole thing kind of pops and explodes, knocking Dexter back against the wall. Dexter, that's going to cost you 1 stamina, but everybody else is okay. So you are down to 11. And then one of the security team fires his rifle in the direction of Bennie. Bennie, a blast of gunfire comes your way.
Yes. What am I rolling? Strength?
You are rolling strength or oh no, it's coordination versus coordination because this is a ranged attack. Yeah.
What if I just take it?
Well, you could just stand there and let it hit you if you want. It's
Well,
coordination.
it's like take it. Like we've done like strength where I try to take stuff without taking damage with strength before, but I can just do coordination.
Yeah, we have done that at points in the past, but we have corrected recently as ranged attacks are supposed to be
different.
Coordination
That's right.
versus coordination. Yeah,
ranged attacks are different. That's right. Okay.
Yeah,
give me a second.
Just like me not really being good at administering rules thing.
That's you know what, we're winning anyways because we're having a good time. This is an attribute roll. Can I add my power specialty because I am fluid? The way that I move, would it affect my movement?
Oh, you're in lava form.
Yeah. Can I add my specialty?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, that makes sense because you are bending out of the way. Sort of. Benny's lava is kind of makes her like a plastic Manny.
So that is 11. So she kind of like tries to do like a weird sculpture, like to
so most of those bullets miss you and just hit the wall behind you. A couple of them do hit you, but you easily absorb the damage from the few bullets that actually connect. That brings up Vian.
Yeah, instantly I am going to wave my hands in front of everyone pointing guns at each other. Muzzle awareness, a very important thing. And I'm going to go ahead and cast emotional control and just say like, hey, let's calm down.
Okay. Big magic, medium magic, little magic?
Big magic because I'm going to use burst. How many of them are there?
4.
Ooh, well, in that case, if there's 4, I'm going to cast this. I'm going to use big magic, but I'm casting it at level 5.
Okay.
Here we go. That is going to be, that's pumpkin. So that's 14 to turn on.
You turn on emotion control. So your emotion control is on at level 5.
And this is emotional control versus awareness.
Okay.
So now I'm going to do the roll. That is 11.
11. So you have so that is a moderate success. You place the emotional quality on the target. Concentrate and make a new emotion control versus awareness test at the start of each of your pages to maintain it. So,
okay, that's fair.
So you have created what was the emotion you were trying to create?
Calm.
Okay, you have created the quality of calm in them, but you can see that they are struggling with this very hard, kind of shaking. They, still holding their guns at attention, but they do not seem to be quite as touchy as they were a second ago.
Okay.
Now, meanwhile, you can start to hear gunfire and screaming coming from somewhere else in the house. These 4 guys are still pointing guns. That brings up Kadrax, what do you want to do?
Kadrax is going to start to move. First up, they're going to do a complex task to break the guns in a burst.
Okay. Okay. The library is probably small enough for you to get all 4 in a burst.
Yeah.
Okay, so
So either they move up in because they were all kind of information.
Give me a complex task roll.
Oh, that's a 5 on the dice, so that's an 18.
Okay. You release a wave of harmonic resonance. The guns kind of vibrate and rattle a little bit. Clips fall out of them, and you can sort of just hear the parts inside kind of just begin to disconnect and misalign. And one of them starts fiddling with the gun, and you can sort of tell they are no longer in operative order. That brings up the next guard. Hang on a sec.
Really quickly,
Yeah.
Dexter was saying, I didn't teach you that. On that, the next guard his willpower is too affected by Vian's calm right now. We were going to say he operates as if he was stunned, and he passes up his chance to attack, which brings up Benny.
I'm just gonna turn to Jonathan Fripp and be like, there's a thing in your house that makes people angry and aggro, and you brought in like the strongest dudes I've ever seen in my life.
And
you're the expert.
Is it? What, we have to try something.
How many more armed people are in this house?
The whole team.
How numbers?
Somewhere in the neighborhood of 30.
Great. How does the mist work? Breathing? Is it brain?
It's magic.
Okay, but like, is it just in the vicinity so it does anything?
Essentially, if it passes next to you, as far as we know,
okay,
it can make you rage.
Okay, anything else that is helpful? Also, by the way, very sorry. Should put that out there first. We've been manipulated as well. Anything else?
There are lots of people in this house that are not part of the security team as well.
Yeah, I would like to help them
So would I. And he gets up and charges out of the room.
All right, well, my turn was I just wanted to ask him a million questions, but then if I can, I would like to start moving.
Where are you headed?
Out towards where the gunfire is.
Okay. Benny, you leave the library and
she's gonna be like, I'm gonna circle. She's not just gonna leave without telling her. I'm gonna maybe stop some bullets. I don't know, and then she'll go.
Yeah, hang on. You head out of the library. As you exit, you can hear shouting coming from the game room, which you passed through on your way in here. The whole house is filling with smoke, presumably from the gas explosion. And in several places, you can see just massive holes in the outer walls where presumably gas piping had been laid. As you turn the corner, you see 5 security team members, all heavily armed, pointing their guns at each other. There are already 2 laying on the ground who appear to have been shot. Some of them appear to be under the influence of the mist. Some, you are not sure, might just be defending themselves.
Okay.
And in one corner of the room, you can see 2 maids huddled behind a cabinet trying to stay out of sight.
Okay.
You can also hear more gunfire and shouting coming from the floor below.
Okay, we'll deal with this first.
5 guards are all kind of pointing their guns at each other. Some of them are trying to jockey for position behind tables or whatever cover is available. What do you want to do?
Okay, maybe this is weird. You tell me if I can do this or not.
Weird is our name. That's what with the game we play. Come on, go. Be weird. Yeah.
Okay, so they're all really focused on each other right now. I would like to attempt to get in the middle of them as quickly as possible and then grow to like level 1. And I have burst on my aura, which is my magma form. Can I try to like get all their guns at once if I like grow the magma into them?
I'm going to set a very high threshold on that
Great,
because
I'll
you know
take
that's
it.
kind of a very kind of specific finesse
Yes.
move, and your power is not exactly a finesse power.
No, I am a blunt instrument, but we're gonna try to make it work.
So movement is free. Let's say you do one of these like James T. Kirk like barrel rolls across the floor to sit in the middle of them.
I think
Now,
she do like a stretch step and like try to like
oh, even
to get
better,
in super
even
fast.
better. Yeah. And you're gonna go to level 1, which is 2 stories.
Yep. So she's just gonna kind of like grow as she crouches, and she's just gonna use her mass to try to encompass all of their weapons as they're pointing them out in front of each other.
Okay, Benny, give me an aura roll.
Okay. Let me see. I don't think I have anything that's gonna help me here. So it's just aura. Okay. All right, let's do my magma die. Don't fail me. Don't fail me now. Okay, that's 15.
15. Okay, you grow up to 2 stories tall. Your
Just like
head
turn into an
goes
egg ball.
right through the ceiling above you.
I'm a crouch. I don't want to break it.
Yeah, well,
I want to get wide.
You grew, and at 15, your head kind of pops through the 3rd floor. And you manage to hit the guns, but as you pop through the 3rd floor, some of the ceiling kind of comes down. So you knock out 3 of those 5 guys.
Okay.
The other 2,
Sorry.
their guns are, let's say, melted by coming into contact with your aura. And you can see one of them kind of grabbing for the grenades that sort of hang off his vest. Now, we'll deal with that in a moment. Back in the room, there are still, I think, 3 guards on their feet. They have the quality of calm on them, so they are not exactly doing much anymore. It is the next guard's turn, I think. And this guard points his gun up at Vian and pulls the trigger, but nothing happens. And he kind of looks at his gun, like shakes it, and then he like takes it like a club, and he just goes charging at you, Vian. Make a prowess or a coordination roll, depending on whether you want to try and fight this off or dodge.
I'll prowess it.
Okay, give me a prowess roll.
That's pumpkin, folks. So that's going to be 11.
Okay, well, the commandos, they have been trained by one of the best in the business, Mr. Dexter Vale, so they are actually very good at fighting. So that is a moderate failure. You get cracked, like right on the side of your, let's say, your upper arm with that gun. And it does... There's only a moderate failure, so luckily you only take... What is its material? It is okay. So you take 2 damage. So you got 7. Okay. You're down to 7.
Got it.
That brings up Dexter.
Okay. Dexter sees that immediately and walks over with one stick and immediately does an Escrito disarm. So basically intertwines the stick in between. Is it a rifle or a hand? Like, what are they? What is the guard?
Let's say it's like a rifle, like automatic rifle.
All right. So basically just attempts to disarm, and using the fancy stick effectively just kind of like breaks it right in half.
Okay, give me a prowess roll. You're attacking using your laser sticks. You're just trying to break it in half, so it's like you're not actually trying to damage the guy, right? So it's like
it could be either the weapon or the martial arts specialty be added to that.
The martial arts specialty definitely counts for your attack. Roll prowess and add your martial arts to it. And with the laser sticks at level 9, if you connect, you're definitely going to destroy this gun. So
that would be 16.
And yeah, with just one of the deftest moves that you have ever seen, Vian and Kadrax, he kind of swipes at that gun with this laser stick, turning himself the long way so in case the gun fires, he's got the small target presented. Just absolutely, just ninja-like smoothness, and the gun just kind of just slices in half like butter. And the guard holding half of it kind of just looks at it and he just completely surprised by it. In fact, that brings up the next guard.
Well, and then he would say,
"Oh yeah,
he's with my friend."
That's my mentor.
No, so me saying to the guard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's me saying to Vian.
Okay, there we go.
Dexter, give me a willpower roll. Your willpower is 6, so just 6 plus whatever you roll.
12.
And the guard kind of, with Vian's calm on him, and now with you sort of admonishing him a little bit, the guard kind of like drops the other half of the gun and kind of crunches down onto the floor into like a little ball, and just sort of seems to be shaking and trying very hard to kind of get his faculties back. You can see him struggling with the rage still, but he is no longer on his feet. That brings up Vian. You have to make a roll to maintain the calm. Yeah.
Yeah. And is that my entire action?
No.
Okay, great.
Keep calm and
and beyond.
Keep calm and beyond. Yeah.
12.
12. Yeah, that will absolutely maintain the calm.
Okay,
now,
great.
What do you want to do?
I am actually going to, as I see that, I realize there's like not the most I can do per se. So I'm actually going to point at Dexter and, sir, I'm going to cast onto you Fast Attack, which is going to give you multiple attacks that you can do. I'm going to use my medium magic for this. So you've got level 5 Fast Attack, which means you got 5 points to apply to an additional attack if you'd like.
All right. Yeah, I'll humbly accept.
I say allows you to attack more than once per action, dividing your fast attack level into additional attack levels until additional attack tests up to your level with that attack.
Monk mentor.
Yeah. All right, we're going to say this gives you 1 extra attack based on your prowess rate right now. That brings up the next guard, whose willpower is still sort of muted because of Vian's calm, so he sort of acts as though he is stunned and does not attack. That brings up Kadrax.
Kadrax, having been slightly speechless at Dexter's comment, seemed to sort of throughout everything just be trying to process. And as the mental beach ball of death finally resolves into a cursor again, there are a few things that I probably should have told you. I am not Caden. My name is Kadrax. I am an alien from the Star Choir. We came here to invade. It didn't work. It turned out that the Star Choir were, in fact, authoritarian and fascist, and there is a resistance on my home planet right now. I hear it is going very well. In fact, I became an inadvertent symbol of it as part of being temporarily immortal as the ever singer of mythological legend. However, I do not hear the song of the choir beyond anymore, and I think that probably means that I am going to die, but also there are people in danger over there, and so I need to use the power of my voice that comes from being, again, a member of the Star Choir, a non-human species, to try and go stop that. Would you like to join? Would you like to join me?
let's walk and talk. And firstly, good to see you. You look great. Suit is great. I work for the boss man. I've read the file, and to be honest, I kind of had a feeling. So even before all that. I know. You told it so well. Let's.
There's gunfire.
Yeah, let's go.
You head out into the hallway.
Which quality could catch you in trouble for that?
You know what? I don't know that exactly caused them trouble, but it was just great gameplay. So
if they give up their turn for that.
No, the book says I can give it out just for great gameplay as well. So we don't do that a lot here. Not because there's not great gameplay, but just because I'm stingy.
Too much of it. You gotta.
But also because there isn't great gameplay. It's true. We're mid at best.
Do not listen to this person. So yeah, you step out into the hallway, and immediately you can see a gigantic Bennie standing with her head through the ceiling above. There are a couple of guards on the floor. A couple of them look dead. A couple of them look knocked out. There are two maids hiding in a corner behind a bookshelf, trying to kind of shield themselves. And there is a guard. We're going to say this, these things were all happening at the same time. So there's one of those guards reaching for a grenade on their vest. And they pull that grenade and pull the pin, and they toss it in the direction of Dexter and Kadrax coming out of the room.
Can I interpose? I give it my next turn to catch the grenade inside of myself.
Yeah, if you're interposing, sure. Bennie, you sling out,
stretches, and just kind of pulls it back into herself. She's really big right now, so she's gonna
now the grenade.
Maybe kill it in the lava, hopefully.
Hang on. Grenade inflicts bashing damage 6 on all targets in close range. So it just explodes right into your lava, but you are able to absorb that damage.
There's like a cartoonish from the inside, and some little light spurts come up, and she's like, and then she burps. Sorry. I got it.
Thank you.
I'll try to remember that that's my next turn. I'll try to remember that.
I like your friends.
Hi, nice to meet you. My name is Bennie Beckett. I'd shake your hand, but it's big and made of lava. That felt really weird.
Picked up on that. No, picked up on that.
Yeah, Eddie, Dexter, what you are seeing is Bennie there's this kind of white bodysuit, and their head is all aflame, and their hands are lava. You can only touch them on that bodysuit, or you will regret it. But yes, you are basically looking at a fire person, vaguely like the Human Torch,
made of like a rose gold magma. Her whole body,
and that you can hear from the floor beneath you. There is gunfire, explosions happening. Vian, you are still in the library with one soldier who is kind of still just holding his gun and shaking. What do you do?
Ooh, I actually kind of want to try this. I'm going to turn to this the gentleman holding the weapon and go, hey, how's it going? My name's Vian Vigor. I have a feeling you have some training in this. You've got some training in resisting the red mist. I imagine, knowing that this is your main enemy, that you've got some mental resistance built up in there. I'm kind of stretched thin a little bit, holding my magics. So I actually need you to just do this one for me, okay? Work with me on this. See if you can pull it back. See if you can push it down. You can still feel the anger, but just don't do anything with it. Just don't do anything with it. Beat the red mist at their own game. Can you do that?
Give me a willpower roll.
All right. This is now 7 plus roll. That is pumpkin. So that is going
13?
to be 13. Happy birthday, Taylor Swift.
You can see, he's still kind of shaking and nodding. He kind of tries to aim his gun at the floor. You can see it is extremely difficult. Whatever is going on inside this guard's head. It is taking everything out of him to sort of fight it, even with your spell that calms him down. And at a 13, I'm going to say he kind of shakes and he kind of screams and then faints.
Okay, I'm going to check on him really quickly. Is he like bleeding from anywhere? I'm not a doctor, so I don't know if to check for like a internal concussion or what this even would have done.
Give me an intellect roll.
Okay. That's going to be a total of 9.
You can tell he's alive. You don't see any, conspicuous damage, but you would not, at your medical knowledge level, you couldn't tell if he had a concussion or not.
Okay, but he's alive. That's good. That's something. Okay. And then I'll telepathically just be like, "Where's everyone? Do we have a view on what needs help, or should I just run out into the fray?"
I think I just ate a grenade.
Okay.
But it's okay out here.
There's gunfire and explosions downstairs. I will be heading down there presently.
Okay, sounds good. Doc, are you by Dexter?
We're right next to each other.
Can you ask him if he wants to be included in this telepathic chain real quick?
Kadrax at this exact moment is in the midst of sort of climbing over a banister so that they look like they're about to jump down or, fly down in their case. And so they turn on the railing back to face Dexter and says, Vian asks if you want to be included in the telepathic communication circle.
Why not?
Right, as a willing target, you can suddenly, just your mind opens up and you can hear essentially the purposeful thoughts of everybody else connected, which are Bennie, Kadrax, and Vian.
Oh, that's weird. Does it always taste metallic? Oh,
it takes some getting used to. It's funny. Hi, welcome.
Hello? Okay.
Kadrax, you are poised on the banister, about to leap down Batman style to the first floor, and as you start to make your jump, this column of red mist comes and knocks you back onto the second floor. It hurts. It's not, it is not sort of devastating. You're going to take 1 damage from that because there was no way to see it coming. It is a surprise attack. It kind of formed out of nowhere. And then as you are knocked back, Vian, you come out of the room. The 4 of you now see the mist coalesce into the form of Donnell Tyrannon that you have already seen. And he sort of looks and he's like, I've always thought that this might be pretty interesting. Now, anyone care to try and take me on?
I'm gonna I'll quickly telepathically just be like, can someone buy me 30 seconds? Can someone pull a Vian and just buy me 30 seconds?
Is Kadrax misted by that?
No.
Okay.
You are just knocked down.
Okay.
Which possibly suggests to you that it only happens when he wants it to.
Yeah. Okay. Kadrax doesn't know how to be Vian.
I'm gonna try this. I mean that'll our silence, I guess, can totally grab us 30 seconds there. I think this might work. I'm going to very quietly cast it alternate form.
Big magic, medium magic, little magic.
We've got little magic doing the telepathic communication, so I kind of want to keep that going. And then my medium magic right now is on Dexter for that fast attack. I don't want to drop that. So this is going to be big magic just by...
Okay, what alternate form are you going for?
Solid.
You're already solid. Solid form. Okay. You
I
transform into
am.
a dense solid
Just a
material like
solid guy,
metal or stone. You gain strength equal to the greater of your power level or your normal strength +1 while in solid form, along with damage resistance equal to your power level. So, you going all the way for level 7?
Well, not exactly. I'm gonna actually cast this, I think, at level 1. Not only to make it easier for me to cast this, but also I'm not casting it on myself.
Okay.
There's that galaxy brain.
Give me. What level are you trying to go?
Level 1.
All right, give me level. Give me a roll for level 1, and then you'll get that.
This is 8+ roll. That's gonna be 13. Happy birthday, Taylor Swift.
That turns it on.
Yeah.
Now you want to try and cast it. Who are you casting this on? I'm sure I already know, but
Yeah, on our misty little friend over here, just to give a shape that a couple of us could maybe throw a couple punches at.
give me a roll on your solid form.
Okay, this is 7+ roll. That's going to be an 11 to turn it on at level 1.
That's 1+ roll. You turned it on at level 1, right?
Oh, right. Okay, so that's gonna be 5. Oh no, usually it's like if you cast it lower, but you're using a bigger magic, you get the advantage on it, right? Or is that just a turn on?
If you're casting it lower, but use it bigger. Wait, I'm sorry.
Because if I'm using a higher level magic, but to cast it at a lower level, it usually increases the chance.
Oh, that increases the chance if it turns it on.
Okay, great. So in that case, I rolled a 4, so that's gonna be 5.
5. You cast it at him, and you can sort of see him kind of wave his arm, and he says, "Nice try, but you don't actually think your powers rival mine, do you?"
I thought I did, and now Vian will buy a Vian. Yeah. I mean, I sort of guessed I did, but you're real good at this. Like,
yes.
Real good. Yeah, because you've been, I guess, doing it for like a little while. You also tricked all of us, which is very impressive and very good.
Powerful people are entitled to lie when it suits their needs.
Yeah. And you're quite powerful. You come from a long lineage of powerful folks, and I have my own personal feelings about, European royalty, considering, my family's Indian. But like, I guess I have a question. What's your kingdom gonna be like? We haven't really, and I turn back to the team. We haven't really stopped to sort of chat with our Red Mist friend over here and kind of get like the other angle of this. Maybe there's like an upside. And I turn back. Like, what's your plan? Like, what's your ultimate goal? What do you want? Maybe we could even help you out.
So you were trying to what? Distract him, or what are you going for here?
Get like a touch more information, but also just get a little bit of like a read on this guy. I don't know exactly what his next move is.
All right, give me a willpower roll.
Okay, 7+ roll.
I'm definitely taking it as you're buying time, and so Kadrax is slowly floating from the second floor back up behind. Like, am I supposed to do a thwack while you're talking to him?
Yeah. Does anybody want to do anything while Vian is trying to keep this guy occupied?
I believe I gave it my last turn, so I.
Yeah, you.
Benny's working on getting her head out of the ceiling.
Get your head out of the cloth, Benny. So yeah, Kadrax is floating back up from the second floor where they got knocked down, up behind the dude who's turned to face Vian.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So
Dexter?
I can look over his shoulder to see Dexter.
I think Dexter's still just sort of assessing the situation, not really knowing what to make of this right now.
Okay.
It's still
Tell you
not
what,
quite
Dexter,
enough information.
Give me an intellect roll.
Okay.
Your intellect is
5.
5, yeah.
That's 11.
Okay. So you are kind of keeping an eye on him, watching, applying your expertise, strategy and stuff like that. Vian, what did you get for the willpower?
9.
And the mist says, "What will my kingdom be like? It will be like I always dreamed medieval Astrovia would be, which is to say, groveling at my feet."
Yeah, I get that. I've been on panels before. I know what it's like. It ain't bad. All that applause. So, and I'm just like in my head. I'm just like, if anyone wants to do anything, I have no idea.
And the mist says, "Bored now," and he shoots he points his arm at you, and it sort of changes into like this smoke tendril that comes and hits you. You've been hit like this before, way back when you were fighting, when you confronted him on the Viking ship in 1103. He was able to hit you then, even in your phased form. You are not phased now. Do you want to try and evade? It's not a surprise attack. You can see it coming.
I see it coming, huh?
Yeah, he's right in front of you, so it is not a surprise. You can definitely try and coordination to jump out of the way, prowess to try and use a fighting move to parry it. If that were effective,
try to prowess my way into phasing?
I think we've agreed that you can't,
because it's a whole move. Yeah,
once. Once
I'll just prowess out. I'll just try to get, because it's got to be solid enough.
All right, give me a prowess roll.
Great, I love that. 6. I'm taking this hit. That's a 6.
Yeah, 6 easily. He hits you, and you go flying across the wall, the floor, into the wall behind you, and you take what do you have? Okay, you take another 3 damage, which brings you down to 4. He clearly, doesn't even look like he was exerting himself. And the red mist says, "I do not think I will lower myself to your level any longer." And then from behind you, you hear another voice. Jonathan Fripp appears at the top of the stairs, and he says, "You're exactly what all the folk tales said, just a killer, aren't you?" And the red mist says, "No, I'm a king, while you're just a peasant pretending to be one." And he shoots a smoky tendril at Jonathan Fripp. Fripp flies. You want to try and interpose?
Which I suppose if Fripp is already flying and Kadrax is already flying, they're going to grab him as part of that flight to try to move the momentum and keep him from crashing into anything.
Okay. Hang on a sec.
I mean, I believe an interpose automatically
automatically
makes you take
works,
the
right?
damage. You just
no, I have to do the defenses normally.
There is the defenses, but you automatically, the other person you're interposing for does not take any damage automatically.
Yeah, they definitely don't take the damage.
And then you get the +2 difficulty to try to mitigate it on your own.
Right. Whether the attack fails or succeeds against you does not affect the previous target. Kadrax, you shoot flying over to try and catch Jonathan Fripp. You manage to kind of get yourself in front of him, between him and the smoky tendril. How are you defending against it?
I'll defend with, well, it's kind of ranged, isn't it? So I have to defend with coordination. Because they're across.
Yeah, I gave Vian the chance to defend with prowess. It's a little weird because it is kind of both a little bit of a ranged attack and a close-up attack, because he's sort of, it's almost like Plastic Manning shooting his arm out, so it is sort of ranged.
I would say this is probably, not to jump it, but like strength or coordination, because prowess you're physically shielding someone, so you can't
Well, but that's the thing. I have a shield
that's true. You
that
do
I
have a
can
shield.
parry with.
Okay,
parry is a thing. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's often what prowess is flavored for, as a parry.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what? The only difference is adding my weapon stat for it. So sure, let's parry. That's let's see, 4 + 1, 11, I believe.
Okay.
Check. No, it should be more than that. No, it's a 12 on the die plus prowess alone. What am I even saying? 13. There we go.
13. that smoky tendril connects with your buckler. That's what you're using, right? Shield.
Yes.
And it hits the buckler so hard it comes off your arm and goes flying over that thing, that edge that you were about to jump off of. But you don't take any damage. Fripp kind of, that's 2 I owe you.
With that distraction actually, did that buy me enough time to cast another spell?
I'm gonna say is that when does that buy you enough time? Yeah, okay, it does if you want it.
I'm just gonna telepathically hey, Dexter, we've only just met. I don't mean to put a bunch on you, but you got fast attack, and I'm thinking about this. I'm going over this mist, trying to figure out what to do. I'm gonna try something if that's all right. Do I have your permission?
Yeah. Yes. Affirmative.
I'm not really much of a fighter, so I'm gonna go ahead and just hand the reins over to you.
Okay.
This is a cloud. I'm gonna cast element control over your way and give you air control. The idea of that being you could combine your martial arts abilities, but use them as air attacks against the red mist.
You want me to punch air?
Yeah, when you think the words back to me, it does sound a little ridiculous, but physical punches aren't going to do a whole lot to a cloud. But,
no, it's definitely not.
Air punches might.
Let's give it a try.
All right, Dexter. Vian, big magic, little big magic. I guess.
This is gonna be big magic again because everything else is.
What level?
This is going to be. Let's go level 6 to make it a touch easier. But I want to give Dexter everything we got. That's going to be a 10 to turn on.
Okay, that will get it on.
Okay.
Dexter, I'm going to say from the intellect roll you made before, where you were trying to study the red mist and figure them out, you have been studying the red mist for a long time while you were working with Jonathan Fripp. And if there's one thing Fripp kept trying to drive home, is that the red mist cannot be damaged without that orb. So watching what you are watching now, you are beginning to think that is possibly 100% accurate and that there's just no way to take this guy on directly. But, Vian, you turned on element control, and hang on. Element control. Command a particular element. You gave him air. You move and influence that element like telekinesis at your power level, and the telekinesis works by I'm pretty sure, just make sure I got this right. This is having to work with the magic guy. You have to know every freaking power in the book.
I believe
you use your willpower as your telekinetic coordination. Dexter, your willpower is 6.
If you can't damage him with it, you could maybe at least do some area control with it.
So
manipulate him physically.
Because we're getting punched.
Dexter has an idea. Dexter has an idea. So it's to go up and knowing just sort of the properties of the 6 that he has, and just knowing how heat accelerates air and things like that. He's going to do a movement in the Eskrima known as Floretti, which is basically like a windmill type of like a linear windmill down, but do it with superpowers and magic. So that's going to make it just basically turn him into Inspector Gadget arms, and make it just a big ass fan.
Now, Eddie, if you want, unlike the other players, you start off with 3 points of determination. You can spend that determination to add 2 to your roll if you think any of your qualities apply. You care about people or force multiplication, all those things.
Force multiplication.
Yeah. Okay. So that spends 1 of your points of determination. And now give me a roll on your willpower, which is 6. And then you can add +2 to whatever you get on the die.
Okay. Okay. So 13.
13. Yeah, you kind of form this windmill, and just for a quick second, the red mist kind of twists a little bit in it, and then he steadies himself, and he's sort of like, very clever. and he shoots his tendril right back at you. It is not a surprise attack, so you can try and defend against this.
And you still have fast attack. I don't know if that helps with defense.
Oh, that's right. So you can do it
it's 2 of
twice.
these. Yeah.
Yeah.
So let me do it again.
Yeah, go for it. Thank you
okay.
for reminding me.
So it's
willpower plus
13.
I'll say your determination applies to both. Yeah. So
yeah, 13.
Again, 13.
Yeah.
So yeah,
no,
sort of
I'm sorry. 12. 12.
12.
Yeah.
Same effect generally. It seems to kind of unsteady him for a second, but he seems more amused than anything else, and then shoots back his smoky tendril directly at you.
Mm-hmm.
You can roll coordination to try and jump out of the way.
Yep.
Prowess to try and use a fighting move.
Let's do coordination to just something fancy.
Okay. Yeah, your coordination is 9.
Yes. So that's going to be 14.
14. You. Oh wow. That is a marginal success. So it's my call. I'm going to say this is like that the Matrix where like Neo just bends right out in the bullet, like just like we go to slow motion for a second as you dive, and that smoky tendril just like barely brushes against your back as you just dive out of the way, and you are okay and unharmed. And then the mist changes back into mist form and blows away down the stairs. Okay. You can all still hear screaming and fighting coming from the floor beneath you.
That's the best we can hope for with this right
now. So that looks like I'm kind of out of magic ideas in terms of fighting off the red mist.
Kadrax turns to Fripp. How can we find the orb?
If I knew, I would have it. Why did he think you would know where it was?
May I make an intellect roll against where we last saw it would be in modern Port Ruby?
Okay, give me a.
Do we know where Eaglesmith Sr. lives?
He lives in Avalon, I believe. The grandfather.
Yeah. How he likes baseball. How likely okay, we met Sisapes, who had the electric power, maybe possibly genetic. Dawn's grandfather likes baseball, collects baseballs, I believe. How likely one of those is not actually a baseball?
Is it the right size? I always pictured it as being bigger.
Oh, I pictured baseball size. I guess I don't know.
Oh, I guess I always thought it was like that kind of thing, like to be like an orb. I don't know.
This might be I might be completely way off base, but
I pictured it about roughly the size of like a grapefruit or something like that. But
See,
I don't know if we ever actually said in canon, but just vaguely, yeah.
That was a max dice of 14.
14. You would guess that the last time you saw it, it was in the hands of Kentu as he was punching the red mist back into the stone sarcophagus in the year 1103. And that was right where the Vikings were burying that sarcophagus, which I think we established is in the equivalent of present-day Yard Hill, which is why Curtis Haber broke it open when he caused the earthquake in our series premiere.
Y'all, I'm rereading the rules of extrasensory perception. I might be able to see what it's able to see.
It affects items that you...
It allows you to perceive things in distant locations as if you were actually there. And if I was unfamiliar with the orb, I wouldn't even know what to look for. But we did see the orb in person. We've interacted with the orb in person.
See the benchmarks table for an idea of the distance you can perceive. Okay, so big magic. Also, while you were doing this, the other three of you, you can still hear fighting and screaming sounds and explosion sounds coming from the floor below. Do you want to do anything?
Yeah, I would like... Is there a vent next to me?
Sure, you can locate a vent in the wall.
Former vent.
Former vent
Yeah,
about to
a
be
former
future
vent
former
in the-
vent. I'm gonna back to regular size, and with fluid form I can fit through any space. And I'm just gonna drop right down to the next level down through the vents. Just
Okay,
whoop,
yeah,
just slide
that's
down as
easy for
liquid.
you. You head down to the first floor. Kadrax, what are you doing? Oh, sorry.
Sorry.
I didn't know if you were
Yeah, no worries. I'm going to hold out my hand to Dexter, like so much like Aladdin flying carpet, to see if he wants to go downstairs or if he wants to continue confronting the bad man.
I'm with you, kid.
Then with that consent to being lifted, we fly.
All right. You take to, well, that's the air. You're indoors. So you kind of fly right over that railing that you were about to jump down. And you come out on the first floor. And on the first floor, doing a couple things here. On the first floor, as you come down, you can see same thing. The mist seems to have infected some people, not others. Some people are fighting. Some people are running. Some security guards are attacking. Some are defending. Same with the servants. Before you can do anything, the red mist coalesces for a moment in front of you, and he says, "You're clearly no match for me, but let's see how you do with these." And he waves his hand, and three kind of balls of mist kind of appear in the air before you and suddenly kind of form into a shape. They almost look like kind of like little mist goblins, all sort of, without specific features, the way the red mist sort of used to look when he was in man form. So it's like sort of, vague, non-specific misty goblin monsters. Call them mist demons or something like that.
Hate
There
that.
are-
Demon? I don't know their job.
There are three of them. Dexter, Kadrax, Bennie. Roll initiative.
11 for Kadrax.
11 for Kadrax. I'm going to make that KX so I know it's not Caitlin. Caitlin, you got Bennie got a 5.
Roll a 1.
Dexter, your coordination is your initiative.
12.
12. Ooh, okay.
So that's 3 on the
So that's going to be Dexter, then Kadrax, then Bennie, and one of those mist demons is going to go in between each one of you. Before we start that, Vian, what level are you trying to cast ESP at?
I like the idea of Dexter still having the air punching abilities. So I'm actually going to do this at level 5.
So like medium magic?
Yeah, so this is medium magic. This is dropping your fast attack. Dexter, you'll only get 1 attack.
Okay, so that give me a roll to turn it on.
That is pumpkin. So that is to turn on 14.
Okay, so ESP is on. How do you perceive? See benchmarks table where the distance you can perceive
10
is the
to 20
lower
blocks.
of your power level or awareness
Oh.
for tests to notice and search. So your awareness is 3, so it's going to be 3. If a location is shielded against your ESP, blah, 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 GM may require ESP tests for areas completely unknown to you. It's kind of unclear if you can only search places you know, or if it works on an object. Allows you to perceive things in distant locations. Okay, we're going to say that that's kind of close enough.
Mm-hmm.
So hang on, I just need to check something real fast.
I need to up my awareness.
Well, too bad. No more minor changes.
Yeah, no more minor changes. I think I was the only one putting things into awareness for a while.
Ula's started very high, and it's possible they continued investing.
That's true. Oh no, I did
Okay.
stop too. I
That's a
didn't know
city.
that's on.
Vian,
Yeah.
Oh, I have it. We're
give
at
me
6. Don't use it though.
give me a roll on your awareness.
Okay, so this is 3+ roll. That's folks. That's pumpkin again. That's 9. That's the best I can do.
Okay, 3 gives you a range of about a city block.
Yeah.
Is your distance. So you feel pretty confident it is not anywhere within a city block.
Okay, I'm gonna. Okay, this next round, I'm gonna start compounding some stuff. But that's all I can do for now.
Yeah, you what? Stay up here, head downstairs.
I mean, finding the orb is top priority. I'm not going downstairs. I'm on orb duty, and I'll communicate
Okay.
that telepathically. I am gonna find the orb.
Okay. That brings us back downstairs. Dexter, Kadrax, and Bennie squaring off against the 3 mist demons. Dexter, you go first.
Right. Basically same approach, just going to do a in this case it's just basically double over looping figure 8s and just it's a highly trained Star Wars kid is what we're going for here. So just like it but obviously like a little bit more profesh as it were. But yeah,
try and get the high ground.
No, just just fussing at air effectively.
Okay, so you're using the air blast again, which was
Yep.
at level 6. What did we say?
I think it's just the +3 plus
Yeah,
the,
6, I believe. Yeah, to make it easier.
Right, okay.
Yeah.
All right. Give me a roll on your air blast.
Okay. That's it would be the martial arts plus dice plus what attribute?
You use the 6, the power level.
Oh,
so
right.
it's
Yeah.
like,
Okay. So
yeah.
So that 12.
12. Okay. You shoot this blast of air with this martial arts move at the demon closest to you. It connects and the demon flies back, hitting the wall behind it. You can see this behaves very differently than the Red Mist himself. It actually takes the blast as if it was there. And you can see it kind of lets out like a little shriek. You have definitely caused it some physical damage. So 1, 2, 3. Yeah, it shrieks. It definitely doesn't look happy. It attacks Kadrax. The demon shoots, the one that Dexter just hit, shoots a mist blast at you, kind of extends its arms, and rather than these smoky tendrils, it just kind of shoots like, it looks like almost like a geyser of steam, but kind of red and very directed. And it hits right towards you.
Does that count as a ranged attack?
That counts as a ranged attack.
All right. Then I suppose I'll roll reflection.
Yeah, you can definitely try that.
That's a 10.
10. Yeah. Reflection, just to make sure I am getting this right.
Is an internal process of introspection by which we better understand ourselves, and also if some mist demon comes at us, we return to sender however possible.
Kadrax gets philosophical on that. Both you and the attacker are each affected equally by half the attack.
I died that way once.
Yeah, well, this time you're not going to die. You are going to take...
Promise?
4 damage.
Good damage.
Yeah,
may I make
it
my
hurts.
defense, though? Because usually reflection is before typical defenses.
Oh, you are correct. Give me your regular defense.
Thank you. Because it's ranged, it's coordination, so that's an 11.
That is a moderate success. So you're going to take 1 damage.
Okay. That's better.
bringing you down to 8. Yeah, I totally forgot. I'm sorry about that.
Nice.
So that brings up Kadrax.
My turn. And I will move forward a little bit with a sharp flick of my wrist that looks a little bit like an Avanika probably, but from that send a sonic blast back. So I will be doing a blast on the demons.
Okay, give me a blast roll. Your blast is, 10, right? So
Yeah, I have a burst blast, so I do that. That die is cocked, unfortunately, and but that's better. So yay. That's a 16.
16.
Please be proud of me, Dexter.
That is, yeah, Dexter. You just see Kadrax execute this sort of death blast that hits all of the demons at once. They all shriek in unison. The demon that Dexter hit vanishes, just kind of pops in the air. The other two kind of shriek and definitely look like they are damaged, but are still
Dexter
there.
would like to feel pride as a free action.
100%. Yeah. And that brings up the next mist demon who attacks Dexter. Shoots one of these mist blasts right at you. It is a ranged attack, so roll coordination.
Okay, so what am I? I'm rolling coordination?
Yep.
Okay, cool. 12. Or I'm sorry, 11.
You are just barely hit by it, and you will take 2 damage, bringing you down to 9.
Down to 9.
It hurts. It kind of like you feel like it's almost like you got hit with like a concussive force. You can feel it even though it's just mist. It feels much more solid. And you are down to 9. That brings up Benny.
Little Miss Toady near me. I would like to punch.
Give me prowess roll.
Yeah. Okay. I know all of my stats very well, I promise. Okay.
I believe you uncritically and without insight check.
Good, yeah. As very trustworthy. That is 15?
15. Yeah, you connect directly with this mist demon, which
It's 18.
again, it does not behave like the red mist. You punch it as if it is a solid, and it shrieks. Sorry, that is
18.
18 damage, and it totally pops and vanishes into the air. Vian, what are you doing upstairs?
Okay, so this is getting a little complicated and creative, which is the Vian way.
Yeah.
I wasn't able to find it within the city block. But I do have the ability to find it. So what I would like to do, and if I have to burn a point of determination to kind of do this, I'm very happy to. Vian is going to think very carefully about the conversation with Kadrax and Bennie that happened just a little while ago. And using the seeds of that conversation, Vian's going to think about not using magic to find this thing, because his magic is limited, but to actually just let go of that ego, let go of that fear of the individual, and just remember that it's not that he's the spirit of justice and he has to do this. It's that he is part of the lineage of the spirits of justice, that it is an honor to be in a position to defend people from evil and life itself, which is the focus. And it's not about killing those things or killing the red mist. It's about protecting the city of Port Ruby. And I would like for Vian to try to connect with all the life around that's reverberating through the city, and to cast ability boost on my awareness. And ability boost allows me to turn my attribute into, or I'm going to boost my attribute up to the power level.
Okay, so you're going to cast ability boost to raise your awareness so that you can use ESP.
Yeah, up to 7.
So you used, I think, medium magic to cast the ESP, right?
Yeah, so this is going to drop, unfortunately, Dexter's elemental control.
Elemental control. Okay, so you're using big magic. What level are you going for?
I'm going all the way. 7 is a very good distance.
Give me your roll to turn it on.
So this is going to be 8 plus roll to turn on. 8 plus 5, 13. Happy birthday, Taylor Swift.
Ooh.
8 plus 5, 13.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes. Sorry, my math not good. But tie goes to the runner. We decided long ago.
Stress.
So that turns on your ability boost. That brings your awareness up to 10, which makes your distance virtually anywhere by means of the distance chart. Give me an ESP roll.
Okay.
On your awareness.
So this is going to be 10 plus roll. And I will say I'll add, once Vian locates this, I'm happy to have like a drained limit or something on me, like a condition from this, because this is really stretching my powers. But here we go. 10 plus roll. That is going to be a 14.
Okay. You whoosh into sort of this vision. Your brain kind of shoots through the wall into the sky, flying southwards, and suddenly you're going so fast you can barely see where you're going, and then all of a sudden there's this like bright flash of light, and you are standing in the middle of a field at night, and in the middle of the field you can see this glowing red thing, like a light, just shining in the grass. And then, shoof, it ends. You cannot detect where that was other than somewhere to the south of you. But it was definitely a little weird because your ESP is not supposed to see into different times, or and it was night wherever you are looking when it is clearly day outside. And you are completely exhausted and you collapse to the floor.
Yeah.
Jonathan Fripp comes running over to you and are you okay?
Not doing great. That was a real stretch. I've never done anything like that before. It felt kind of cool, but kind of terrible at the same time. I need you to tell them it's somewhere at night. I found it. I found the orb. It's somewhere at night.
All right. I'm going to tell them. And he kind of like loosens, the pulls on his pajama collar, and like as if he's got a tie there, forgetting that he is not in his normal business guy outfit. And he kind of gets up and he like psychs himself up and starts to run down the stairs. Now, meanwhile, downstairs, Benny, Kadrax, Dexter, you are still facing off with one more demon, and it is Dexter's turn.
Okay, second verse same as the first. We're gonna do.
You don't have your air blast anymore, so.
Oh, I don't. Oh, okay.
No.
Okay. So, what I will do. Is there any water nearby? Like a fountain or anything like that?
Say there's a big aquarium set into the wall.
Okay. I see you chose violence, Mr. Bud. So I will. Is it set into the wall? Okay.
Yeah, it's
distance.
It's like
distance from the. Okay, so distance from the
Let's
wall
say
to
it's like,
the Misty Boys.
Just a couple of feet.
Oh, okay. Well,
they're almost standing like right in front of it.
Yeah, it's a simple matter of Yeah, ripping it out of the wall and smacking them with it. That's an elegant solution, but yes.
Okay, this is going to be 2 rolls: a strength
Sure.
roll and then a prowess roll. So first, give me your
Got it.
strength roll.
Strength roll 15.
And you grab on to sort of like, the trim, like the sort of molding at the edge of these things, and you kind of wrench it, and the wall kind of cracks, and it's like, it's sort of set in onto a shelf that's just flush with the wall. So as you pull it out, like the tank does not like burst or anything. It just kind of comes out as like this kind of giant glass cylinder full of water, rocks, and fish. And you are now carrying it. I would say it probably weighs at least like level 5, something like that.
And I'm straining. I'm just saying, make a hole. And I'd like to smash it on the mist area. Little mist.
Give me a prowess roll.
Sure. Let's confirm the.
Who mists the mist? My goodness.
That'll be 13.
13. You just raise it above your head. The mist demon and kind of looks up as you just bring it down. You ever play baseball with like a water-filled bat? Have you ever like used one of those where it's got like a little liquid in it?
I
And you
can't
swing
say
the
I
bat?
have.
Yeah, it's like they don't let them you use these things in the major leagues, but it's like it's a bat that's like hollow on the inside and it's got a little water inside, because the idea is that like when you swing, the water shoots to the end, giving you a little more speed. This is like that. The water, when you bring it over, the water all just kind of like flows forward, adding additional the power to you, and it comes right down on top of the mist demon, who just pops and disappears. Jonathan Fripp comes running down the stairs to see you, and he looks down at the floor and he sees, oh, my fish. And then he kind of shakes his head and says,
priorities,
Vian
man.
says the orb is somewhere to the south at night. I don't even know what that meant. And before he can finish, one of those security guards running around infected by the mist kind of sprays the room with machine gun fire. Everybody make a coordination roll.
Can I interpose for everyone, specifically because I am big and can grow? Can I screen across the room and interpose like that? And take all of it?
I'm gonna say because it's like a surprise, you can't interpose because you can't see where you don't see it coming.
Okay, that makes sense.
I'm giving you a coordination roll because you hear the gunfire, and essentially I assume everybody like tries to dive. Is sort of what I was thinking, but like you wouldn't even know what direction to interpose in. So anybody who wants to try to dive, give me a coordination roll.
That'll be 14.
14. Benny 5. Kadrax
12. I'll opt not to reflect.
Okay. Dexter, Kadrax, you are totally fine. Benny, you take some of the bullets, but not enough to cause you damage. It doesn't feel great, but you can absorb that with your lava form. Jonathan Fripp is absolutely just cut down. He collapses to the ground and kind of like grabs his chest, and he looks up at you, and he says, "It's to the south at night," he said. And then he keels over. And the red mist coalesces in front of you into the form of Donnell Tyrannon. And he says, "That was fun. You're good against the demons. Let's see how you are against something a little more formidable." And he changes into mist form and blows right towards Kadrax. Kadrax, as the mist encircles you, you start to feel a wellspring of rage inside of you. Every wrong thing that has ever happened to you every pain you have ever felt, every death you have ever died, suddenly all comes back at once. But instead of being overwhelming, it's enraging. You bubbling, you feel this anger bubbling up inside you, making your heart beat faster and your pulse quicken. You have never felt anything like it. Everyone around you suddenly looks and feels like an enemy. Pure rage courses through your veins, and you feel an uncontrollable urge to attack. Kadrax, you have acquired the temporary quality Too Angry to Think. This functions as a normal quality. You can play it as an advantage or a disadvantage. But it also gives you -2 on every roll you make while you are under the power of the red mist.
Fantastic.
Dexter, Benny, Kadrax, roll initiative.
11.
14.
Benny, 11.
The
Kadrax,
only good roll I've ever done for coordination.
14.
14. Ooh, Dexter and Kadrax, who has the higher coordination? Kadrax
Dexter
has 8. Dexter. Okay, so Dexter will go first, then Kadrax, then Benny. Vian, you don't know this is going on, but...
Oh, no, wait, I'm sorry. I'm 12. I'm -2 on initiative. Forgive me.
Ah, good. Wow, I already forgot. See, this is what I mean. I'm the worst with rules. So, yeah, I literally made that rule up and completely forgot it the first time I used it. So, yes, you are 12. So Dexter goes first, then Kadrax, then Benny. Vian, you are not aware of what is going on, but you can definitely feel that something is off in the telepathic connection. You are feeling something weird. Dexter, you can see Kadrax is disconnecting a little bit. What do you want to do?
So to be clear, Kadrax is currently afflicted with the... Okay, got it.
They were running toward Fripp with their med kit.
Got it.
They get misted.
Got it. Okay, cool. Just
drop the med
sure.
kit and turn to face their enemies.
Got it. So Dexter would recognize this as what's happening and realizes there's probably not a ton of time, and also realizing even though the biology is different, some kind of blood's got to get to some kind of brain. So Dexter's going to attempt, I don't know how grapples work in this system, but Dexter's going to try to initiate a standing carotid choke effectively. So probably like a head and arm triangle, something like that. Just something to just quickly incapacitate Kadrax safely.
Go to sleep, go to sleep, go to sleep.
Yeah.
That sounds to me in the rules of this game probably like wrestling, when you want to grab and restrain an opponent. Yeah. Roll a test of prowess against a difficulty of the greater of the target's prowess or coordination.
Okay.
Those are the same on me.
So those are the same for Kadrax. They're both 8. Dexter, your prowess is 9.
15.
Kadrax, remember you're -2, but you can apply any bonuses.
Yeah, but that's just a 1 on the die, so I don't win that.
What'd you get?
15.
You got 15. What did you get, Kadrax?
Versus 9.
Versus 9. Oh, wow. So that is a massive success. I accidentally lost the page. Hang on. Wrestling. A massive success puts the target into a complete hold. The target is fully restrained and can take no physical action except to escape from the hold. In your panel, you can inflict strength damage on a character in a complete hold as a reaction with no test required. So you are trying to inflict damage?
I'm actually just trying to, I'm not trying to inflict damage. I'm just trying to literally render unconscious. So
like a stun outcome?
Yeah, like a stun outcome. So basically just
like a stun outcome.
Yeah, so just around Kadrax's head and arm and just pinching and just good tight squeeze on an S grip or on a Gable grip.
Kadrax.
And whispering. Sorry, Doc. Let's simmer down now.
Now, Kadrax, you feel that, and it is definitely interfering with you. Your biology is a little bit different than a human, so it is maybe not working as well as Dexter is going to hope it's going to work, but it is definitely having an effect on you because you are wearing your human body. That being said, the only move you can make is to escape, and with the rage monster in you, you kind of have to do that. When you are being held by an opponent,
I have an alternative for enraged Kadrax that is not necessarily that.
Oh, sure. Well, what is it?
Enraged Kadrax would like to shift their power from blast to aura.
Oh, huh. Can take no physical action except to escape from the hold. Not really a physical action, so I think you can do that.
So as he's holding them, they whisper and the air starts to ring into a resonating scream. You left me!
And on that, your aura turns on. Dexter, you have no way of knowing that this is coming because you don't even know this is a thing Kadrax can do. Kadrax, your aura operates at where's your aura? 10, right?
I have to shift it, so it is at a -1. But
-1, so 9.
Yeah, still 9, just for contact.
Dexter, all of a sudden, you are blasted off of Kadrax. You go flying kind of halfway across the room, land on the ground, and you take 5 damage, which leaves you with 4 stamina. You were gripping right onto them when they auraed on. Their aura is like no joke. That brings up Benny.
Okay. So here's the thing. I don't want to hurt Kadrax, but I can at least try to contain them. So I'm gonna grow 1 level. No, you know what? No, I'm gonna say I can stretch. I'm going to try to make a thin magma bubble. And I'm not gonna touch Kadrax, but I'm gonna put them in a dome. Like a little Kadrax terrarium. And I want to keep them in there, and they're gonna get very uncomfortable because it's really fucking hot. But I don't want to hit them or hurt them, and I'm hoping, 1, this is a very intense sensation. Maybe I can knock them out of a rage. It's a different emotion. I don't know. It's a different feeling. And 2, I'm going to try to take all of their voice damage.
Okay, so let's work this out. You are stretching. That is a free move. You're trying to contain Kadrax.
Basically, like if I can get like a foot of space around them, but I'm going to try to contain them on spot. So if they try to like touch me, they're unfortunately going to take damage, but I want to take if they're going to try to blast out, it's going to hit me, and I want it to hit me and not anyone else.
Kadrax is a moving target. The GM may require a stretching test for extreme distances or difficult uses of your ability.
Yes.
Trying to capture Kadrax in this very specific way with space around them while they are,
it's actually
a moving target.
I might actually take a level because I don't actually think this would be possible at all if I'm my size. I'm very small. I keep forgetting how much I'm little. So maybe I probably would actually have to grow if I want that much magma.
Where does that put your damage resistance?
Down to 9. No. Growth gives me damage resistance anyways, so it doesn't matter. I can keep. Okay. Yeah. No. Okay. No. I'm gonna grow 1, and I'm gonna I'll bubble them.
Yeah.
Just because I don't think Benny's like 5'5". I don't think there's enough mass there to make any sort of contain. Then I can give them more space. That's okay. The goal.
Give me
stretching roll.
Okay. So, okay. So we're growing 1 level, and I'm gonna. Okay, magma die. Let's do this. That's 13.
13. Okay,
And
that
I'm
is a
hoping-
moderate success.
I'm hoping they're marginally distressed because they just had an outburst at someone they care about very much.
It's a moderate success, which creates the bubble around them. Now, Kadrax is probably too angry to feel, you know, they have this artificial anger in them, so they probably don't really feel distress in that normal way. Like, they're not
That's
going to
okay.
be afraid of this. If anything, it'll only enrage them more.
That's fine.
Kadrax, you find yourself in the center of, you know, people aquarium made
Yeah.
of lava.
Since I'm bigger, I'll give them a little more space just so I don't accidentally touch them. I'll give them maybe like, I would say maybe like 2 feet all the way around them in any direction. So like 4 feet across, and I'm gonna bubble.
Vian, while this is going on, what are you doing?
I'm groaning in pain from pushing myself so much with magic. And suddenly I realize how I can figure out where the orb is. And I laugh to myself and I go, oh, all right, you're good at some stuff, man. And I go to contact everybody. And I think that's when telepathically I get a sense of what's going on as I kind of just get like a read of everyone's thoughts as I'm tapped into the network. And I go, ah, damn, my plan involves the dock. And then I get another idea. And what I'd like to do is, while this is all going on, like phase through a floor, like try my best to amble my way to where everybody is. And if it's okay with everyone, I would like to burn a point of determination to stunt.
See, here's the problem. You just used your point of community determination to do the.
Oh, yeah, to push myself.
Yeah.
God, a stunt is what I need to do, though.
So you got to play a trouble against yourself right now.
I mean, a trouble. Yeah, well, I mean, I don't. My goal is to find.
I was gonna say you have an extra condition right now, don't you? From like being exhausted from your spell thing, or was that? Did you take damage from that? What was that?
I've got.
We did that as like a narrative flare.
Oh, okay. It wasn't it wasn't a temporary quality.
But yeah, you know what? I like that. Let's play it as a temporary quality. So yeah, if you want, how about I'll tell you what. I'll play it against you as a trouble.
Sure.
You are sort of still so zonked from what you did. You tumble down the stairs.
Yeah.
To the bottom. You take 2 damage, bringing you down to 2 stamina, but getting you a point of determination, and that brings up Dexter again.
Okay, so I'd like to go up to the little geodesic lava dome and say to Benny, let me in there. Make a door.
I don't know. I don't know about that. Both of us will hurt you very badly.
Just do it.
You're very important to Kadrax.
Yes.
Kadrax is very important to you too. Okay. No. I'm gonna play trouble. I'm gonna play stubborn as a mule.
Oh my god.
Kadrax, you mean a lot to Kadrax. They would never forgive themselves if they hurt you.
Then make a window. Just a window.
Rick, if I've played that trouble, can I do
You
do
get
that?
a point of determination, yeah.
But, I mean, to not let
you
him
know
in,
what?
does that mean I can't do the window either?
No, you can do the window.
Okay. Okay.
I figure that still fits into trouble because that will be useful to Kadrax as well.
That's true. Okay. You don't hear anything for a second. She doesn't really have a face or anything right now, so it's kind of like just the thoughts maybe that you're here because we have the telepathic link. And then after a beat, like just a small. You can see them inside. It's very bright in there. There's no like there is no shadow. There's no capability for shadow in there right now.
Dexter gets as close as he can without doing damage because, ow. He looks inside and says, Doc, you have every right to be angry. You have every right to feel the way you feel. None of this is wrong. There's something else making it go faster. There's something else multiplying that feeling, but it's real and it's earned. And I did it to you. I had a chance. Fripp gave me a chance to do more than I ever could have done in 2 lifetimes to help them kids. And I had to make a choice, and it hurt you, and it wasn't fair. But I never once worried about you because I knew I didn't have to. You were and are better than anything I ever could have taught you to be. So it's okay, and I understand. And if you want to be angry at me for the rest of your life, you can. But this anger is exactly what this thing wants. And I reach my hand in.
Dexter, make a willpower roll. Kadrax, also make a willpower roll.
I'm going to use a determination. I care about people.
Yeah.
And so willpower roll.
Kadrax, by the way, you get that point of determination.
That's 11.
11. Kadrax, how'd you do?
8.
Is that with the -2?
Oh no, it's 6.
6. So that is a massive success. Kadrax, you begin to feel the anger breaking. You can start to hear your own thoughts beneath it. Dexter's voice cutting through.
And within Bennie, she could feel the inside shake with screaming. Echoed in all of our minds is the screaming, the rage, the frustration that he left, the greater frustration that he understands, the pain of having died and all of you just being there, the shame that maybe it's gone because they're unworthy, and the screaming melts. And as the sweat pours down them from the heat of the lava, it mixes with tears, and they sink to their knees, looking up through the window at Dexter.
Kadrax, you feel like, you are not maybe fully in control, but you are not out of control enough to attack again. To keep things moving here, I'm going to say, Bennie, you release Kadrax from the terrarium. By the time you kind of get a chance to take stock of what is around you, 30 are dead inside Fripp Manor, including Jonathan Fripp. The place is just devastated. Half of it has burned down. The other half has huge holes in the walls. The red mist has completely disappeared.
if I can, when Benny comes out of it kind of like lifts like a curtain, and she comes back into her own form, her own size, and and as she moves to standing, she's gonna sit down with Kadrax, and will magma off, and we'll just kind of like kneeling in front of them, we'll just kind of like reach out in offerance and let them like collapse. I've got you. It's gonna be okay. We're gonna get him. And I'll just let them cry it out.
Yeah, and I'm going to say, you recess to Kadrax's apartment. Abigail is not there. It is just the four of you. Let's say a couple of hours later, Kadrax has calmed down a bit. You have all, you are all feeling a little bit of shock at what you have just been through. All the death, all the destruction, the red mist getting the better of everybody, and just not being able to lay a finger on the guy. Say, Vian, Bennie, you are in the kitchen preparing something for Kadrax to try and eat, leaving Dexter and Kadrax alone for a moment.
What are you going to do now?
Well, my boss just died. So, back at the mansion, I realized that the majority of my adult life has been spent living out of a rucksack, not really being aware of what I've left in my wake. And I don't know, it just reminds me of when I was a kid and my grandpa, he had this garden, and one day he tells me, he says, "Little buddy, it's time to dig some holes so we can plant all the plants I just got at the store." And I just kept digging holes, too many holes, just one after the other. It was fun. I enjoyed it. I thought I was helping. And before I knew it, the entire yard was just covered in these big holes that I had dug. And when my grandpa called me to come running back, I ran and I tripped and I fell and I broke my arm. And much of my life has been that way. Digging hole, thinking I'm helping. And back there with you, I realized I just tripped on yet another hole I had made. And so, I don't know. I got to go back. I got to go back and start filling these holes up once again. I can't undo the things I did, but maybe I can prevent someone from tripping in a hole I left in my wake. So, going back to where it all started, Astrovia. I start there. And I know that we ain't done. But before I come running to the other side of that yard to you, I got to make sure that ground is level.
Surgeons are very good at setting broken arms. If you ever need me.
I think you may have broken my arm, just FYI. But yeah, ow. Yeah, totally.
I did not assume that this would be so literal so quickly. Please, we'll get an ice pack. Or I suppose I'd like to put my hands over Dexter's arm and use the voice for healing purr and stunt healing over it.
You know what? I'm not even gonna make you roll for it. That's so nice. You know that. Yeah, you describe what happens.
At first, you hear much the same purring as you do from any cat whose frequency itself is for the knitting of bones, and the amplitude of it rises. And you can feel this funny sort of feeling in your arm with, well, sympathetic resonance. And as they hold their hands up, you can see now there are scars on Kadrax's arms that weren't there before. That glow, iridescent, kind of like that stuff that's always been on their face. But as the purr grows, there's just a little bit of that glow, almost seeming to come through their hands, almost seeming to go into yours. And the bone mends.
Oh, God. Well, that was cool.
Stick by me. We can do great things.
We will. In a bit.
You know, on that, Dexter, Kadrax, you have your final moment, and Dexter heads off into the night, leaving just Bennie, Kadrax, and Vian. Anything else anyone wants to do?
I've got one thing, but you can go first, Caitlin.
I was just gonna bring out the plate of rice and tikka masala, the leftovers that we had from, because we ordered way too much at our sleepover night, and the one of the donuts that is just a very plain, no sprinkles, nothing, like just like a plain cake donut, out as soon as we wave goodbye to Dexter, and she'll just bring it out and set it on the table in front of Kadrax, on the couch.
Vian?
As Dexter's leaving, will kind of like send a telepathic message just to him right before we kind of close it off and let him return back to his mind, which is from Vian. It's just like a very vehement, like it's the image of the guy like going with like cracking my arm with the butt of the gun, and just like a thanks, like a very vehement, like, thank you very much. We owe you. And once you're back to your mind and gone, Vian sits down and winces, looks horrible. Not the tank of the team. Like black eye, bruises everywhere, and goes, okay, well, it's not much, but I got something. And I'm going to cast images, which I can do burst and put into our subconscious. So I'm casting an image of the orb in the grass. And I go, I couldn't figure it out. I don't know where it is. It's south, but it's at night. Then I realized there's a way we can find it. And I want to tilt that image up. And I want us to see the sky.
And on the image of the sky above, we're going to end this one. Wow.
I love you, nerds.
Real quick, yeah, this was just amazing. Honestly, it's like, you know, Eddie, you are the freaking best, man.
Y'all are too kind.
No, dude, you rock.
Accurate.
Let's go around the table. Tell the awesome people where they can find you, starting with our special guest, Mr. Eddie Doty.
The Twitter account is Kirby.Matrix, and for the occasional times that I do stream, it's twitch.tv/0dork30.
And Omar Najam.
Hey everyone, I'm Omar Najam. You can find me at Omar Najam on Twitter. The show Bainsbreak has its finale this week for season 1, so check that out over at Pixel Circus on Tuesdays. Caitlin will mention it, but Caitlin's coffee is the greatest mail I get on a monthly basis. Please sign up for that. And also a little show called Miss Marvel just came out. I can finally talk about it.
So good.
Kind of a big deal.
And just a little independent upcoming show. And I have a
Sure.
couple lines that I wrote that made it into episode 2, which will be coming out on Tuesday as well at midnight, Wednesday, technically throughout the day. So check that out if you want.
As far as I am concerned, it is Omar Najam's Miss Marvel.
Oh, what's that, Walt? You're sending me a lawsuit? Okay.
Caitlin Bruder.
Hi, I'm Caitlin Bruder, and my friends are so cool. What the fuck? Sorry. You can find me on Twitter at KKAMABR for all of my things. Really exciting news for me specifically. Stone Houses, my folklore, fiction, fable, and folklore podcast that we started in like 2018 and ended up taking a 2-year hiatus because of the pandemic. Grilled Our Brains is back. And we have an episode out about sentient trees in lore. And there's another episode that is recorded and needs to be edited, and I think will go up next week. So check out at Stonehouses Cast on Twitter, and you can find us on most podcast hosting platforms. I'm really excited about it. It's one of my favorite things I've ever made, so I hope you check it out.
Sam DeLev.
I may or may not be your Kadrax ever singer, but I am Caden Dialto, mentee of Dexter Vale, and gosh darn it, that's good enough for me. When I am not learning from my beloved Eskrima Master, you can find me bringing his lessons out to the Twitchernet as a whole, the schedule for which you can find on twitch.tv/Delevely, DELEVELY, with all of my one-offs announced on Twitter at Tchaikovsky, CHAIKOVSKY.
You finally got a mentor who doesn't die. Amazing. I'm Rick Budd. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at rbud913, or you can follow the show at Powerplay RPG. I will be back here next week with 3 of these people and B Zelda, and they will not be coming alone, because next week, folks, Drac is back. Will W. Walton makes his return to Port Ruby, and it's going to be fun.
That's my best friend.
So, yeah, both in game and it's like just. Yeah. So yeah, Drac is back next week, same time, same bat channel. On that, the theater goes dark as the credits come to an end, and we are in a hotel room in Avalon, and it is the present day. And this hotel room isn't just any hotel room; it is Preston Haynes' campaign headquarters. A dozen or so people from his campaign staff nervously watch as Preston Haynes, played by Sam Rockwell, is sitting in a chair being interviewed by PR1 reporter Nina Harmon, who is played by Eva Longoria. And Nina says, on Monday, September 13th, just about 3 weeks ago, you gave a fiery speech outside City Hall that incited your supporters to violently storm the seat of our city government. Fortunately, nothing happened to Mayor Carter, who seemed to be the target of the mob's rage, but 4 security guards were injured, one of them badly, and thousands of dollars in damages were done to the building, damages the taxpayers are now going to have to pay to fix. Do you think you still have a chance to win this election? And Preston says, absolutely, Nina. You see, I know that your masters in the liberal media have trained you to use terms like fiery speech and inciting my followers and mob rage, but I think what happened on that day was just a healthy display of good old-fashioned American democracy. And I think the regular people of this city, people like me, who are sick and tired of Mayor Carter's destructive policies, were inspired. It let them know that change is coming to this city by any means necessary, and those who stand in the way, well, they're going to wish they hadn't. And Nina kind of cocks her head and says, well, that's a curious interpretation, given that since the Rampage, your poll numbers have been sinking and donations to your campaign are slowing. How do you explain that? And Preston leans forward and he says, "That's a lie. My campaign contributions are up, and we're doing better than ever in the polls." And Nina says, "So you're disputing PR1's data?" And Preston responds, "Absolutely. We are more popular than ever. And to prove it, I am staging a rally in Bray Square on Monday night. And I promise you, the people of Port Ruby will see how strong the Sovereignty Party really is." And as a smile spreads across his face, we cut to black. Thanks for playing with us.
I don't like it. I don't like it.